Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Hello. Peace to the chat. Peace, 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 peace. We about to get started right now. Peace. Shout out to everybody in the building. Yeah, we about to get started. Can y'all hear me? Good, 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 good. Could have won in the chat if you could hear me. Hello? All right, put up one in the chat if y'all can hear me. I want to make sure this mic is working. Okay, people can hear me. Shout out to everybody in the building. We're about to get started right now. Yeah, no further ado. Family, I want to ask y'all a quick question though, if you can. Make sure y'all subscribe to my second channel. If you can, hit that link, subscribe to my second channel. Also, family, the best way to support the stream is PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, but all support is good support. So if you're giving gifts, I appreciate it. Super chat, super thanks, super sticker, anything. Whole lot of ones, be the whole lot of nuns any day of the week. You can hit that join button. All of that is much appreciated. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to the brother WT for coming through with the fire emojis. You already know. Shout out to a member of the channel, supporter of the channel, RS7RV. Shout out to AZ. Shout out to Fahima. Yeah, shout out to everybody in the building. Yeah, let's get started. But let's get started with some good news. Some good news. For all you who don't know. Let me see my screen. Yeah. For all you who don't know. Trump got handed some major defeats today at the Supreme Court. He got a big victory, but he got some major defeats. So, yeah, let's get into this. Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure y'all hitting that reaction heart and everything. Supporting the stream. Share the stream. Like the stream.
A crushing blow for Trump at the Supreme Court. In a major loss for the president, the Supreme Court today shutting down his efforts to meddle in the upcoming election. Two of the conservative justices joining the liberal justices to allow states to continue counting mail-in ballots that are postmarked by Election Day. Trump did not take it well.
The mail-in ballot ruling, which was a little bit surprising, gives people more time to vote illegally, let's say. I think it was very detrimental to honest elections.
Now, of course, there's no evidence of widespread fraud when it comes to mail-in ballots. And frankly, sometimes it's frustrating to even have to say it that way. They've looked and looked and looked. There hasn't been fraud on a widespread basis in mail-in ballots. But Trump has voted by mail. The last time he voted, frankly, in Florida back in March for a special election. It's not the only time either. And this is not the only defeat that Trump suffered at the Supreme Court today. The justices declined to hear Trump's appeal in the civil case, which found him liable for the sexual abuse and defamation of writer E. Jean Carroll, which means that Trump still has to pay Carroll $5 million in damages. Now, those were two stinging defeats. So Trump today did cling to one victory, which does give him even more power.
Yes, two stinging defeats. Good to hear. Trump got to pay that money. But he probably not going to try. He's going to probably try to get around not paying it or trying to get the government or somebody else to pay it. And he lost trying to fight against mail-in ballots. Like, come on now. Let's be serious. That's the funny thing about it too. He voted by mail-in ballot. Yes, Fahima, the same way Tariq voted by mail-in ballot. The same way. They trying to discredit voting or discredit that style of voting, and they use it. Can't make this up. Wait, somebody sent me some jewels. Let me see. I can't really see your name, but shout out to you. Let me get back to this real quick.
The Slaughter case was the big case today. That was really a big case. It gives me the right, and not me, it gives a president the right to do what the president should have the right to do. And it's very interesting.
Trump said it right. I'm going to bring it back, but he said it right. Gives him the right to do. Because no president wanted this power. No president ever had this power or wanted this power.
The Slaughter case was the big case today. That was really a big case. It gives me the right, and not me, it gives a president the right to do what the president should have the right to do. And it's very interesting. It's a big ruling.
So at the heart of this ruling is Trump's firing of Rebecca Slaughter without cause. She's one of the only Democrats on the Federal Trade Commission. And then she sued Trump. Now, Trump won, which is something he is not going to let anyone forget. He said today Today's historic slaughter decision by the Supreme Court is the greatest increase in presidential power in the past 100 years. Such a monumental ruling at such an important time. Now, Rebecca Slaughter is going to be our guest in just a moment. But as Slaughter will tell us tonight, the FTC is supposed to be an independent agency that protects Americans against harmful business practices. And Trump did not seem to want Democrats on that commission, so he fired Slaughter along with another Democrat. Meanwhile, the titans of the business world and the media world, the very people that the FTC is supposed to be policing to make sure that they are protecting consumers' best interests, well, the CEOs of Apple, Meta, Alphabet were all front and center at Trump's inauguration. Mark Zuckerberg attended the UFC fights on Trump's birthday earlier this month. Tim Cook went to China with Trump, and their companies donated to his ballroom. So this decision from the Supreme Court does empower Trump to squash dissent when he wants to, which, of course, could open the door to potential corruption.
Yep, that's exactly what it can do, and that's exactly what it's gonna do. And like as you just named all those people that was there, all those tech billionaires, that's the oligarchy. That's the oligarchs. They the oligarchs trying to become the new technocrats, trying to use Trump to become the technocrats of the technocratic elite. Disgusting.
Is the very thing Trump's critics are claiming after the New York Times reported on $1 billion mining deal between Trump and Kazakhstan. According to the New York Times, the deal gives a little-known American company access to one of the world's largest untapped reserves of tungsten. Tungsten is a metal the United States desperately needs for the production of missile warheads, fighter jets, computer chips, and other critical goods. And here's the twist. Investors in the deal reportedly have ties to Trump's sons, Eric and Donald Jr., along with Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick's sons. So Trump's sons stand to profit from that deal. And obviously, there is a whole lot more where that came from. How much power do you think that this ruling now gives Trump?
A massive amount of power. I mean, the president said it himself. It is the largest.
Yes. And they all got ties to his son. Kleptocrats. Kleptocrats. They all kleptocrats. This is disgusting. Like, this is what America has turned into.
Largest expansion of executive power in over 100 years. And that is exactly why we should be worried about it.
So, the court did hand Trump a number of defeats today, including a ruling, interestingly, that he can't fire Lisa Cook at the Fed. Why do you think your case, which obviously involved the FTC, is different?
Well, I don't really think that it is different. I think it came out differently. And there were only 2 justices who ruled against me and for Governor Cook at the Fed. And I find it very hard to square those 2 decisions from any kind of rational, intelligible standpoint. The only difference that I can ascertain is that the Supreme Court and those 2 justices who switched the positions in those cases decided that there is a Wall Street exception. And that is exactly part of the problem. I mean, the FTC, it sounds like part of the alphabet soup of agencies, but it's the agency Congress set up to be bipartisan, multi-member, and independent in order for it to be able to check the most powerful corporations in the country and keep them from getting ahead by cheating and lying to the American people and enriching themselves at the people's expense. And so for working people who depend on agencies like the FTC and the other independent agencies, the Supreme Court has said, no, we will not have that independent check. You will not be watchdogs anymore. You will be lapdogs. But for the Fed, which has some responsibility for Wall Street, the Supreme Court has said, okay, but you can stay as a watchdog. And I think that that's really problematic.
So
disgusting and problematic. Shout out to the hood mistress in the building. It is nepotism. It is nepotism. It's beyond nepotism. That's why I said they kleptocrats. They just stealing from the government to enrich themselves. Like, this is like, what is this, Russia? That's why America can't get this falling apart and can't get nothing done. We basically becoming Russia. Under Trump, we becoming Russia. Oh, shout out to Ephraim. That's how you say your name? Ephraim? Ephraim for the jewels. Thank you. Much appreciated, Ephraim. Thank you so much. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns any day of the week. Let's get back to this.
Chief Justice John Roberts wrote for the majority, and he wrote, Rebecca, in the ruling, and I quote him, "The president must have the assistance of officers he can trust. Although it is up to the Senate to decide whether to confirm those with whom the president would prefer to work, neither Congress nor the courts may saddle him with those with whom he cannot work. Subordinates who exercise the president's power are subject to removal by him." And it continued. But what do you make of that argument that Trump won the election and he gets to pick anyone appointed and get rid of those he doesn't like?
Yeah, so that's essentially the theory of the unitary executive. It's a theory to which Chief Justice Roberts has been an adherent for a very long time. But I think it is inconsistent with both the constitutional system of checks and balances, which says that the president shall take care that the laws be faithfully executed, not that he shall do whatever he wants as a matter of policy. He has to execute laws as passed by Congress, and those laws set up both the structure of these 8 government agencies and give them substantive powers. It's also inconsistent with the historical tradition of our country dating all the way back to the founding, when the sinking fund, which Justice Sotomayor talked about in her dissent, had officers who could not be removed. And the common thread in these agencies that Congress set up with these limited removal protections is that they're there to protect economic integrity. So that the same way independent directors on corporate boards keep a CEO from just giving out favors to friends at the expense of shareholders, these agencies were designed to protect American taxpayers and American people from crony capitalism.
Kristen.
Yes. And again, only a crony capitalist, only a kleptocrat will want that removed. Exactly, Enigma. Is your name Enigma? Am I seeing that right? I can't see. Oh, Johnny Black Men. You said Tabitha Speaks is now full-blown FBA? Could have saw that coming. Green Goblin. Of course, Ant CEO is trying to be a baby Tariq. Ant CEO, by the way, let me see. Ant CEO, by the way, is in Hidden Color 6. Can you believe that? Oh, shout out to Tabitha in the building. Greetings, 3. Greetings. Yeah, let's get back to this.
And Trump is talking up his one big win from the Supreme Court today. But as you've been talking to your sources, you've been learning, I understand, that he is incredibly angry tonight about another ruling from the court.
Well, he's completely livid over the mail-in ballot ruling. And of course, part of this is the justices who decided to rule against him or this case. Just a reminder, this, of course, was the Republican National Committee challenging a Mississippi law that allowed voting to be counted or votes to be counted that were mail-in ballots that came in after Election Day. But if you look at the justices who voted against Donald Trump and the Republican National Committee, one of them sticks out in particular, and that is Amy Coney Barrett, who President Trump himself appointed to the bench and has been growing increasingly frustrated. We've reported multiple times that behind closed doors, he has slammed Amy Coney Barrett, saying that she has not stepped up, she has not done basically what he put her in place to do.
Yep, that is true. And I'm no fan of Amy Coney Barrett, but if she could be the swing vote and, like, let's say when that 14th Amendment get before them, because it's going to come before them a couple of times, and she could just go on the other side just to make Trump mad or whatever the case may be, much appreciated. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. Matter of fact, yeah, let's move on from this. I wanted to touch on this real quick because I don't want to be long with this, but I wanted to touch on this real quick. The bozo Jake got washed up at the BET protesting at the BET Awards. Let's see what Tariq the bozo got to say about this, because I know he's going to try to pretend like FBA is the one who put in work when that is not true. But yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah, people are talking about the B.
Yep, he got moved around, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. Like, nobody should tolerate that type of antagonism coming from this bozo. Like, what he's doing is not right, and it should not be tolerated. He's a bigot. He's a hate monger. Good job on the crowd for getting active. But let's see what Tariq got to say about this.
BET Awards, all right? I've seen like little clips. Drewski looked like he did a good job. He was the host of it. And Drewski looks like he's doing a good job. He did a good job hosting. And that's a good play. You get people who got like a real big internet following. You know, Drewski's, he's killing the game right now on the internet. So, you know, that was a good choice as a host. And some of the clips that I've seen look pretty good so far. But boy, the thing that we got to talk about as far as the BET Awards, the real entertainment about the BET Awards that we got to talk about is suspected white.
Yeah, I know the decision is today about whether birthright citizenship is valid or not. But when I'm talking about not only that decision that's coming out today, but we know the neo-Confederates are going to make a move on the 14th Amendment as well. They're going to try to dismantle the 14th Amendment as well. They're going to bring that up in court sooner or later. They just, like I said before, they just sitting back to see what the Supreme Court does this time around. And then by next year, they're going to bring their attack. But yeah, thanks for that information, Fahima.
Supremacist Jake Lang. Should I even call him suspected at this point? I'll just say suspected. So for those who don't know, suspected white
Tariq, you just calling him suspected because you're a coward and you're afraid of getting sued because you know, like, you might get sued for calling somebody a white supremacist. That's why you do that. You don't go suspected nothing else to nobody else. You show the utmost respect and restraint when you're talking about white people, racist white people at that. WT, I don't know if he's half Jamaican or not, but he might be, might not be. Shout out to Lord of Slaughter in the building.
Supremacist Jake Lang, who, you know, I had a debate with him on TikTok before, on Twitter before. So I washed him with his nonsense. I had a debate with him, but he was one of these J6ers.
I highly doubt that. I highly doubt you washed him, Tariq. I highly doubt that because you are slow and you lose every time when you try to have neutral debates on neutral platforms. You got nothing but L's.
He was one of these people running up in the Capitol building. He's an alt-right suspected white supremacist who happens to be Jewish, by the way. So he does all of this anti-black.
What does him being Jewish got to do with him being a white supremacist? See, are you promoting this nonsense that somehow Jews ain't white and that somehow it's a contradiction for a Jew to be a white supremacist? Like that doesn't make sense. Like you making it seem like, oh, a Jewish white supremacist. Let me correct myself. A white Jew, white supremacist. Oh, that's like saying a Chinese white supremacist. No, Tariq, cut it out. I know you're trying to run interference for your mother-in-law, but hey, not on my watch.
Antagonism. He's been showing up down there. He was showing up at the Carmelo Anthony hearing. They threw him in jail a couple of times. He's known for antagonizing black folks. When he was down there in Texas, the police basically protect him. He's one of these, these white supremacists. They go around antagonizing black people, but they have police protecting them. Just like in Texas, when he was down there at the Carmelo Anthony case at the trial, he's out there just spewing gibberish, but he's standing right behind the police who's basically down there in Texas acting as his police, as his security guards, basically. So that he gets off on doing that, goes around and he has his fellow travelers within law enforcement protecting him. But here's the thing. So I guess he thought he was going to come out to LA and do that. He decided, ladies and gentlemen, to come out to LA to bring a couple of his white supremacist buddies with him and go to the BET Awards to do an anti-black protest.
Oh, now I know the direction Tariq is going to take with this. Tariq is going to be like, well, he couldn't do this in LA because, us people in LA, we not like other people. We riders, even though a bunch of the people who was on his body wasn't just black people. It wasn't just black people on his body. And I'm pretty sure everybody who was on his body wasn't even from LA. They just in town for the BET Awards.
Man, y'all already know how left that went real fast. That went left real fast.
Oh, wait, Tom. Let me see. You said that dude is the Dominican? The big dude with the mohawk, he Dominican? Oh, shout out to him. Kalo K.
What's up, Blacktivist? Are you fantasizing about my lips, bro? I hope you're a woman. This dude named, I hope you're a woman. This dude is fantasizing about my lips. I hope you are a woman, Blacktivist. I got a picture of me just standing there, just chilling, and this dude is fantasizing about my lips. So, bro, I hope you are a woman, Blacktivist. Now, if you're a punk, I can't do nothing about your fantasies, bro.
Tariq love using that word punk. The proof that she's Jewish is that Tariq said that she was Jewish. Because remember, when Tariq, one of the people who worked with Tariq, who got close to Tariq and then fell out with him because they realized he was a fraud because they saw the behind the scenes, is the one who blew it up that Tariq's mother-in-law is Jewish, used to be a cop, and lives in his house. And Tariq didn't deny it. Tariq just said she was a good cop. And something about, I think he said something about Jews not really being white or Jews sticking up for black people, something like that, to that effect. Yeah, bozo. Let me see. What's your name? I type the truth. Yeah, I typed the truth. Shout out to Lee in the building. Yes, Tariq is way boring because, again, he's trying to pat run time. He doesn't actually believe in what he's saying. And on top of that, he's like, it's only but so long you can promote hate and stay in a, and stay surrounded by idiots before you start sounding like an idiot. Yes, Tariq said she was a good cop. I did that video. I think he flagged that video down. But I'm pretty much sure I could find the screenshots. Tariq was arguing with her to my, oh, she was a good cop. She was a good cop.
This dude is up here fantasizing about my lips. Yeah, we don't do that, brother. This ain't that kind of place. I don't knock anybody's lifestyle, brother. I don't knock nobody's lifestyle, but I don't respect dudes. That's not what I do. All right. Yeah, you got to chill out on that, brother. You got to chill out on that. All right. No, I'm just sitting. I ain't doing nothing. I'm just sitting here, literally not even making an expression. So he's fantasizing about my damn lips. Okay. So yeah, we don't do punk shit. All right. But if my picture got you unzipping your pants, brother, you need to go ahead and get up out of here with that.
We know Tariq is a blade. Tariq, nobody's not stupid, bro. You gay. You took this whole time to be talking all this gay talk. If you really want me, you need to get out of here because I'm not with that. I'm not with that. You licking your lips, you undoing your pants to my voice. You need to go somewhere with that. Sound like a hoe. Get out of here, Tariq.
But anyway, I'm talking about Jake Lang. I'm talking about the white supremacist Jake Lang, who went up to the BET Awards in Los Angeles, had a sign about black parents, just talking crazy about black people, and some civilians put the beats on him. He got ran up off the block. Him and his folks got ran up off the block immediately. They got hands and feet put on them. They were getting punched on, slapped on, kicked on. Their signs got taken away from them. They got whooped on for about 2 blocks. So, yeah, I don't know what he was thinking. There's no way that dude thought he was going to get that off in LA. And these were the civilians who got on him. The reputables didn't even get to see. If the reputables got to him, you know. So
the reputables wouldn't even have got to him because they don't care about getting to him. Like, I don't know what Tariq is even talking about. For all you don't know, when he's talking about reputables, he's talking about gang members. Gang members ain't running around looking to do battle for no pro-black issue. Come on, Tariq, cut that out. Like, you think if people would have been walking by, some Crips would have been walking by and they would have saw him holding up his sign, they would have even cared? Like, cut it out. Wait, somebody asked a question. Let me see. You said, how did Tariq rise to prominence? Tariq rose to prominence because exactly that. People don't know how big the whole writing those books and doing the whole I'm gonna teach you game and I'm gonna teach you how to dress so you could get ladies, how big that was. That was huge. That's why you had Tariq on major TV shows. You had people reaching out to him to put him in a documentaries. Remember, Michael Moore put him in the documentary. Like, Tariq, like, that stuff was big at one point. It was huge. Tariq is nowhere near. The funny part is Tariq is nowhere near as big as he used to be. Because once he started doing the pro-black stuff, he shrunk. He did shrunk, but he created a steady source of easy income. Because that whole I used to be a pimp, oh, I'm going to teach you how to get girls stuff, that stuff ran its course. So it was no bag in that no more. That's why he moved to the pro-black stuff. Because he knew he could grift the pro-black side forever. He might not be able to get as big a bag, but he can get a big bag and he can grift it forever. Like, all right, I won't be as famous. My bag won't be as big. Matter of fact, I take that back. When he first started, his bag wasn't as big. But I'm pretty sure now, especially around like that Hidden Colors 4 time period, those were probably the biggest bags he was getting in his life. And it's easy. Like, the pro-black stuff is easy. All Tariq got to do is just hear what other people say, take their information, and just regurgitate it like it's his own. That's it. That's it.
Oh yeah, the civilians whooped on him. He's online whining now. Oh God, I almost got murdered in Los Angeles. The blacks can't control themselves. Oh God. See, this is my point. The blacks can't control themselves. I almost got murdered. They hit me with glass. He's crying on the internet now. What you think this man? Man, LA ain't playing with cats like that, dude. LA don't play like that. LA ain't about to sit here and argue with these folks. Ain't nobody about to go back and forth. Ain't nobody about to be yelling at these people. I told y'all, LA is real active. That shit gets nipped in the bud immediately.
Again, Tariq, you're talking about gang members and you're making it seem like the gang members is out here rolling around on some pro-black stuff, ready to get active on people that they hear disrespecting black people. Like, rando, weirdo, white supremacists disrespecting black people. The only way somebody would even attempt to get active on them is for clout. Oh yeah. Great point, Green Goblin. Great point. That's why I said, like, Tariq is a contradiction. Like, you was following behind Yvette Carnell, lesbian. You made T.S. Giselle your first lady of FBA, transformer. You was promoting Marcel Dixon, gay, who that's probably the reason he also lost his job, not just for being a xenophobe on the internet, but for his gay story times that he was doing, which is originally how he got famous on the internet. So I want to know, Tariq, how did you find out about Marcel Dixon? Because people who knew him before they found him through you knew him for being for the gay stuff, not for no pro-black stuff, for the gay stuff. So I'm pretty sure that's how you knew him too.
And you know what it is? See, a lot of these dudes, man, they're used to going to these different cities and having the police act as their security guards. Let me explain something. If we have any white supremacists in here, let me explain. I've been saying that. I keep telling folks, man, LA is active. They don't play like that with no damn white supremacists at all. And here's the thing, family. Here's the thing. The police ain't gonna help you in LA. white supremacists, sit down. Let me talk to you for a minute. Let me tell you why things go left for you when y'all try that shit in LA. The police ain't going to help you. You understand? When you come out to LA with that, the police ain't going to help you. They remember they did when Maxine Waters. They went down to Maxine Waters' headquarters and got whooped on because the police told them, "Hey, we ain't going to be able to rock with you." Listen, understand the politics of LA, man. There's the ghost of 1965 and 1992 is still hovering over LA. You understand? The LAPD, they don't just police a city, they got to manage a powder keg that has detonated twice in a major way in that damn city. That 1965 Watch riot, that was a problem. They had to create a whole militarized unit. They created SWAT because of the Watch riot. Did y'all know that? The brother, look, they don't tell you that Watch riot put the brake.
No, they didn't. The guy who created SWAT was a white supremacist who just created SWAT so they could have more militarized police so they could kill black people better. That's why. Like think about it. The first police to be militarized in America was militarized in LA. Why? Because a white supremacist became, I think, the police chief or police commissioner, and he wanted black neighborhoods to be treated like occupied enemy territory. That's why he purposely went on a recruiting campaign and for two people. For one type of person, a Southerner with military experience. And he wanted them to move to LA and get a job being a police officer where they would use their military experience and their military tactics inside of the black community. And then to help step it up, he came up with SWAT, Special Weapons Attack Teams. That's what SWAT originally stood for. Not Special Weapons and Tactics, Special Weapons Attack Teams. And they were supposed to run around and do battle with black people who wanted to stick up for themselves. Because remember, once the police started doing all that militarized stuff, that's when you get the Black Panther Party. That's when you get the Black Liberation Army. You start getting all these black militant groups. So he said, all right, we're going to need something to combat that. And that's when he came up with the SWAT.
So they were putting the beats on LA. That Watch riot was a problem. They really got overwhelmed with that. So they had to create SWAT because of that. You understand? The department, they understand that them trying to protect an anti-black provocateur in LA, that's not just bad optics. That can cause a major problem. You get another 1992. And remember, 1992 was another problem. The black folks in LA gave the city of LA $1 billion bill. You understand? They can't afford that no more. They got to walk on eggshells. Yeah, the Rodney King situation, that 92 thing, that.
Exactly. Thank you. I couldn't think of his name. His name is William Parker. William Parker. Thank you for that, Frank Nitty. Thank you. The police chief I'm thinking of, his name is William Parker.
That let LA know you better act right. That $1 billion bill was a bad look. And understand what came from the LA riots in 92. Just the optics of it and the ramifications of that. You had the Rampart scandal. You were exposing racist cops. The city got a major bill. Tourism was down because that messed up a lot of tourism money. It exposed so many police scandals. It opened up international investigations into the LAPD. LAPD became a horrible brand name internationally. You understand? So there had to be systemic changes, man. Yeah, the city couldn't foot that bill no more. A city can't keep getting $1 billion bill over and over again. You understand? So these cops, they ain't about to protect no goofball white supremacists trying to get content online. They'll sacrifice you. They'll let you get whooped on. Because understand, Los Angeles, it's not like Texas and some of these little enclaves where the Jake Lanes can go and, they can go to the Carmelo case, and that's like in a very small city somewhere in a court.
Wait, time out. Fahima, you said it was Daryl Gates. Daryl Gates came after William Parker. But you might be right. It might not have been William Parker. William Parker probably laid down the foundation, and then Daryl Gates is the one who pushed it. Because I know both of them are like two notorious white supremacist LAPD people who are openly racist, who wanted to use the LAPD as a military force against black people. So yeah, we might have to do a whole show about that. But thank you for that too, Fahima, because I'm thinking. See? Thank you. I just saw that. Of course, Lee, he just babbling. We about to get off this. We ain't doing this. No, I didn't see this, the debate on reparations. I'll probably take a look at it.
House off in the cut where there's not a lot of media. Remember with the Carmelo thing, there was a media blackout with what was happening around the courthouse or in the court. LA is a global media citadel. You understand? LA is not like a hidden courthouse in a flyover state. No. Where local cops can quietly protect their little fellow travelers in these little white supremacist groups. This is the capital of global media. Every phone is a camera. Every street corner connects directly to
New York is the capital of global media, not LA.
The TMZ culture, the media, anything that happens out here, it's going to go global. So you can't be out here bullshitting, clicking up and protecting no damn white supremacists. You understand? And out here, confrontations and things like that, you're the LAPD, you're protecting some white supremacist group. Yeah, that's not going to stay local, especially if you're doing it at the BET Awards. You understand? So the headline becomes, why is the LAPD using public resources protecting white supremacist groups? So that'll be a PR catastrophe. You understand? And listen, out here, the cats don't give a shit.
Exactly, Lee. But yeah, we about to speed Tariq up. Because again, he's like it's like he's trying to repeat himself. Nope.
About no police. I want y'all to understand something. When the LA riots popped off, remember, they ran the police up out of the neighborhoods. When the LA riot happened in 92, the police were there. Let's be very clear. On Florence and Normandy, there was a lot of police there. They got ran up out of there. I want y'all to understand how the LA riots went down. They ran the cops out of there, dude.
The police left on their own during the LA riots to let the riots get out of control, so people could stop criticizing them. Like, all right, y'all think we bad? Y'all think we too hard on these people? Now let us go and let us leave you with them and see what they do then. That's why the LA riots got as big as they did. That's why. Oh, shout out to Carlette in the building. Shout out to Carlette.
The cops had to haul ass and get up out of there. You think these niggas, they run the police up out of here, they won't hem your ass up? You got a city full of cats who are trained in guerrilla warfare, urban guerrilla warfare, who's with the shits. Yeah, y'all didn't know that. Yeah, we all looked that up. Yeah, the police was there. They had to retreat because the block got real hot for them. So it's a whole different vibe out here, man. And the political machinery out here is very different because there's already been scandals with racism within the police department. LA is still trying to recover from the Mark Furmans. Remember the OJ trial? And our great late brother Johnny Cochran exposed the rampant racism with the Mark Furmans, who was a damn neo-Nazi, who was a head detective in that case. You had a card-carrying neo-Nazi who was a lead detective in a major case. All of that stuff was getting exposed. So the LAPD, they're still reeling from that. The white supremacist groups within the Los Angeles sheriff deputies, they got deputy gangs that are white supremacists out here. They're still reeling from that. So they can't afford to sit up here coddling no damn goose.
Yeah, they're not reeling from that because them gangs are still active and nobody did nothing about them. Like they not like Tariq just keep putting out all this fake information. Got people thinking that they winning all kind of victories that they not winning. Like you got to stop this. Like it ain't like that. You got people thinking that somehow all the gangs in LA are some militant organization that sit around and protect black people all day. And if you go against black people, they're gonna crush you. And the police even know better than to try to stand up for you. Like, come on, Tariq, you gotta stop this.
Ball white supremacist troll, because they gonna get the shit's gonna get hot for them. You understand? It's gonna get hot for law enforcement. You see? And remember, this is California, man. You had the Black Guerrilla family was formed out here to get at COs. That's who they were getting at in the prisons, because the COs were being abusive. So, hey, they formed the Black Guerrilla family, George Jackson, and they were getting at COs. They got a thing where they don't give a damn about you being a cop. If you do some injustice, you can get it. Everybody can get it.
Oh, Lee, I just saw it just now. Thank you. Thank you. Much appreciated. I got you right after this.
Yeah. And remember, listen, and they try to, you don't see a lot of violence against black people out here by law enforcement out here. You don't, that's why you don't see that much. You don't see that too much in California. You know, not on film. You don't see it.
Tariq, LA is still one of the police brutality capitals of America. Like, you just be making up stuff. Like that whole LA County, not just LA the city, LA County. It's like one of the police brutality capitals of America, if not the Western world. What are you talking about?
Now, the last time there was a major situation that happened that got caught on film, it was a brother. What was his brother? Right off Imperial.
Exactly. And they
I
still
can't think of
act
his brother's name, but it was a brother who got unalived. He was riding a bike, and some sheriff deputies unalived this brother. And you know, they hid the footage and all that, but somebody's ring camera caught it. Not Oscar Grant. No, this happened in L.A. Kids me. What's that brother's name? God, I can't think of his brother's name. But yeah, they unalived this brother. He was riding the bike. No, I'm talking about L.A. Somebody, no, this is L.A. Take the King. This is L.A. I'm talking about in L.A. It happened off Imperial, and somebody's ring camera caught it, and we saw that it was unjust, and there was a protest down there on an Imperial. And I remember going to the protest. I said, "Oh shit!" This. I'm looking at how some of the cats in the neighborhood were acting. I'm like, "Okay, this." I felt the vibe, and I kind of saw Dijon. Yeah, Dijon. That's right. That's his name. Right. Cut the check. That's right. Dijon. That's right. Him, brother Dijon. Right. Yeah, somebody's ring camera actually caught it, because they were trying to hide what they did, but somebody's ring camera caught it, and that turned the hood up. And there was a protest about it, but there were some dudes kind of circling the block who wasn't on some protest yet. I said, "Oh, this is about to go left." And about a day or so later, somebody down in Compton ran up and ambushed 2 cops in a car. Y'all remember that? In retaliation, somebody ran up in Compton. They ran up and ambushed 2 cops in a car, and then dudes showed up to the hospital where the cops were, saying they were going to finish the job. I'm like, damn.
Tariq is making up stories right now. Tariq is just making up stories right now. We're going to let him get 30 more seconds, and then we got to get out of here. We got to go.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so again, things go left real quickly. But yeah, the LAPD, they're not going to sit up here and coddle no goofball like no Jake Lang. You understand? They're like, we'll just sacrifice him. Whatever you want to do to him, then knock yourself out. Because again, they tried the same thing coming down to Maxine Waters' office, and the police said, "Hey, you come down here. We can't do nothing. We can't help you out here."
All right, so he's just repeating himself. We out of here. Yeah, Carlette, he's lying. He's lying, and he tells these lies and it's fairy tales to his audience to make them think that they're more powerful than what they really are. It's disgusting. Thank you, Mulatto Vanguard. You already know. Thank you for email. Like, this dude is such a liar. Exactly. Just a fairy tale land. Just a bozo. Oh, shout out to That's Amazing for setting it off for the goal with the 5. Thanks a lot. Yes, that's a fact. You gotta harm a black person. It's not just them. It's matter of fact, it's not just the police, it's the sheriff department too. It's the sheriff department too. Matter of fact, let's see if we can find that. I'm gonna see if I can find something about that real quick. Shout out to everybody in the building, because this boy be lying. God. I think this is a good one.
The LA County Sheriff says he has taken unprecedented action to
Let's see. Let me put this in normal speed.
Crack down on deputies who are members of cliques or gangs inside the sheriff's department. 26 deputies linked to one such group in East LA may now face suspension or firing, and deputies tied to another group in Compton being investigated as well. NBC4's investigative reporter Eric Leonard with the story.
We are holding our employees accountable to the rule of law, and I will not tolerate any group of employees who mistreats any member of the community.
As one example, the sheriff has announced more than 24 employees could be suspended or fired for an off-duty fight in 2018, tied to a deputy clique called the Banditos that allegedly controlled the East LA Sheriff Station.
This week, we are delivering 26 letters of intent.
So you're not firing them for their racist gangbanging because they already knew that these racist gangs existed. You're firing them because they got into a fight off duty with somebody else. Nonsense.
To suspend or terminate.
The sheriff says he's replaced the station captain and transferred 36 deputies to new assignments, but there are other deputy groups in other parts of the county.
If it really is a new leaf the sheriff's department's turning over, as the sheriff says, it's historic.
Inspector General Max Huntsman says deputy gangs have been a long problem, and while he says he's encouraged by today's announcement, he says there's more the sheriff could do to discourage deputies from joining groups like these.
There are many of these groups in the sheriff's department, but there aren't an infinite number. So that they have a means to do something about it other than just saying, well, I have to wait till they punch somebody.
The latest focus is on a group at the sheriff's station in Compton that's called the Executioners. Members are branded with tattoos like this of a skull wearing a Nazi-style helmet and shown with a rifle. Recently, a deputy at the station filed this legal claim that he was being harassed and had his hours cut for speaking up against the group.
These guys aren't Boy Scouts. These are very, very dangerous.
Civil rights attorney John Sweeney says he first learned of the Executioners during a lawsuit in 2018. He says the new legal claim from the Compton deputy suggests members of the group regularly break rules and laws.
Executioners, anyway, have done a lot of bad, and they have committed crimes, and they have terrorized the Compton community.
Yes. Like this one is watered down. I want to find the one that I saw where they was talking about how you got to kill people to get into the gang. You see? Let me see if this is the one right here.
Since the 1970s, there have been at least 18 gangs within the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, and they continue to brutalize and even murder community members today. My name is Cerise Castle, and I am a journalist. In the summer of 2020, I was working for a local radio station here in Los Angeles, and I was out covering the George Floyd rallies that were happening across the country, across the world. And I was shooting photos of people protesting, and while I was doing that, 2 cars with police officers on them in riot gear rolled into the area where people had gathered, and they shot people with less lethal munitions. And although I identified myself as press, I was shot, and the resulting injuries landed me in the hospital. A few days after that happened, the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department killed a teenager who was working at his job in the Compton area. Very quickly after this young man was killed, his name is Andres Guardado, was reported that his killing may have been part of a gang initiation.
And there are some new allegations against the deputy involved in Guardado's case who did not fire his weapon.
And also, I'm pretty sure in LA County, like they up there high with the murder count, with police shootings, police killings. It's probably one of the highest in the nation. And yes, a lot of those killings are gang initiations or people trying to get more status in the gang.
Civil rights attorneys accuse Christopher Hernandez of being part of what some call a sheriff's department clique or gang.
While I was bedridden, I started researching the history of the gangs in the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. And I found out that this dates back at least 50 years. I spent 6 months researching deputy gangs within the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. Conservatively, I estimate I read about 100,000 pages of legal filings. And what I came away with was a 15-part series detailing 18 gangs that I was able to confirm the existence of within the department. There are the Little Devils, Posse, the Wayside Whiteys, the 2000 Boys, the 3000 Boys, the Jump Out Boys, the Banditos, the Executioners, the Spartans, the Cowboys, the Rattlesnakes, and the Tasmanian Devils. They have killed 19 people, all of whom were men of color, several of whom were in a mental health crisis when they were killed. Government from the county level, the state level, and the federal level has known about this issue since the early 1990s, and no significant action, policy change has been brought forth.
Yeah, disgusting. Like, again, this is something that is happening routinely. Like, Tariq is just living in a fantasy world, and got other people living in a fantasy world. We got real issues that need to really be addressed, but how are we going to address them if everybody's in a fantasy world? If everybody's believing a lie? Can't make this up.
So let's do a quick run through of the gangs of the Los Angeles.
Yeah, that's enough of that, because I don't know. I'm probably going to get a copyright or something like that for even using that much. But yeah, this is crazy. We got to move on. Shout out to everybody in the building. All right. This is for you, Lee. This is for you. Shout out to everybody in the building. We about to see how Poetic Flacco covered this issue. Let's see. Let's get to it, Poetic Flacco. Let's get to it. Shout out to everybody in the building.
One of Chubb's racist homies came to LA with all that playing and got sent to the hospital. Bro came to LA on BET weekend to incite violence and antagonize black folks and got everything he asking for. But now he on social media playing victim, and now white supremacists are crying about what black folks did to him over the weekend. These white supremacists are really soft, man. They not living like that. They not like that. Bro felt the hands of the ancestors yesterday and said it was a near-death experience, man. Oh, God. When they announced this clown was coming to L.A., the white supremacists were online celebrating and talking about this like he was bringing real smoke. In his initial announcement that he's coming to LA, Jake Lang wrote, "We're leading a massive boycott with hundreds of crusaders or racist white nationalists outside the BET Awards in Los Angeles this weekend. We will stand up against the degenerate black culture that is destroying America." People like Ian Mouse Chong was gassing this dude head up like he was bringing a smoke to black folks. Ian Mouse Chong wrote, "It doesn't look like Jake Lang and his supporters are backing down. Expect LA to look like the summer of Floyd in 2020. They were gassing this up as if this was going to be an all-out war, and Jake Lang was bringing the soldiers, the warriors. I don't know what they thought LA was. Boy, even the grandmamas are G homies, man. The grandmamas is gangsters. Yo, the grandmamas will give Jake Lang a run for their money. And I'm talking about just straight up scrapping.
Yeah, I don't want to understand. Like, this is just all grifting. Like, all this is just a grift. Like, I'm not saying that they don't really believe in the racism, but all this, we gonna fight and we gonna go to war and all this, we step in. All that's just a grift. All that's like LARPing. They're LARPing. They're not doing any of that. That's what I meant to say. Not grifting, LARPing. That's what they're doing. LARP. This is just LARP. They playing like they soldiers, like they really brown shirts, like they the SA, like they the red shirts, like they the Klan. They not that. They not that.
Jake Lang ain't beating up a grandmama from South Central. Is you crazy? So I don't know what they thought LA was. I thought because he got away with it in Texas, because the black folks who was present in Texas didn't hold him accountable when he was yelling, "Hang that 17-year-old black boy Carmelo Anthony from a tree," when he was yelling things like F black mothers, when he was saying the N-word, when he was disrespecting black women to black people's faces, and the men that were present did a whole lot of puffing and didn't hold him accountable. Now, their excuse was the police was there. Okay, cool. Now, regardless of your reason why y'all allowed...
Wait, I got to give people... I think y'all need the take it easy on the brothers and sisters in Texas, because that was a small town in Texas. And if people would have started getting too crazy, I promise you, the police would have shot somebody, or somebody who was with Jake Long would have shot somebody, or somebody who was there as part of like the anti-Carmelo Anthony protest would have shot somebody, and they would have got right away with it by saying they had to stand their ground. So yes, I don't think it's not comparable. The police was not right there. As far as what I saw in that footage, the police was not right there in LA. On top of that, LA don't got no stand your ground. You can't shoot somebody because they hitting you. You can do that in Texas. You can't do that. You cannot do that. I'm in LA. So of course the responses were different, and they should have been different. Wait, somebody said something? Yeah, Frank Nitty, the police was right there. The police was right there. The police was nowhere to be found right in the LA one. But yeah, let's get back to this.
That white man to disrespect all black mothers to y'all faces, and y'all ain't do a goddamn thing, regardless of your reason why. Y'all got Jake Lang with a battery in his back. Y'all got him feeling like we all sweet now. But when he got to LA, this brother right here was waiting for him. This brother was waiting to take that battery out of his back, man. Now, I don't know this brother's name, right? But we gonna call him the OG Baby Loke. Cause this brother, this brother.
Don't do that. Don't call him the OG Baby Loke. Don't do that. Like, you don't know if he in a gang or not. Like, don't do that. You could have just called him the OG. Just call him the OG gangster or something like that. Come on, Poetic Flacco, you wildin'.
Stood on some business. This brother did some straightening on behalf of his community, and I want to applaud this brother right here. There were only two main characters in this story, right? OG Baby Loka, who is the hero, obviously, and then Jake Lang, who is the villain. But his brother laid some straightening down on that white boy, man. When he got to LA, he delayed his butt whooping by a couple of hours. He said he was coming to LA to go to the BET Award weekend, to go to the Peacock Theater and lead this boycott and protest against black folks. So they were waiting for him at the Peacock Theater, right? But he evaded and eluded, right, and delayed his butt whooping by a couple of hours. Instead, he started off his LA tour by going to the Canada World Cup game and, to engage in xenophobia and disrespect Indians.
We are live here outside the World Cup game in Los Angeles, where Canada has been invaded by Indians. The capital of Canada is now Mumbai. This is the future of Canada. The future of Canada. The great replacement of the Americas. Stop the Indian invasion. Amen. Stop the Indian invasion of Canada. Freedom of speech, gun rights. What happened? You guys were a great country. They took everything from you.
Katy Perry's boyfriend did that.
Yeah, I know. What do you think about an Indian invasion of Canada with all the Indians flooding in? Do you think that they can't assimilate and it's changing the demographic too rapidly?
You want my honest opinion?
Yeah, of course.
Exactly, Frank Nitty. Why didn't the BET security do something about it? Why did they let him even get to that point? Why did they let him get that far in to even protest right then and there? Because it looked like they was kind of backstage. Not backstage, but like he was at a place where was supposed to be like, it looked like it should have been restricted access.
I don't know if I can give it.
Are you uncomfortable with the amount of immigration happening in Canada? I'm sorry. We're really, as Americans that also had our open border during the 4 years of Joe Biden, we feel your pain because we've been literally invaded by 20 million.
And I were a kid. Think about first grade. Think about your classroom. Think about your playmates. Now think about Canada today. Totally different.
It's a total different.
I just heard a little voice.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Nobody want to see all this. Come on. We get it. Jake Long, whatever his name is a racist. And he wants to convince other people to be racist. And he's being racist to Indians right now. What would be funny is if he was being racist to black people, you would have a whole bunch of Indians co-signing it. So yeah.
For me, it was probably like 50%.
Yeah.
But now it's like 99.
Man, this felt like stalling, bruh. He not from Canada. Why do you care about Canada's immigration policy? You don't. This felt like stalling, man. You knew that butt whooping was awaiting you after all that popping that you did online. So you was doing everything in your power to delay it. But this is like when you get in trouble in school and they call home and you realize that when you get home, you got to deal with your parents. And for the first time in your life, you start praying the school clock slows down, man. They call home at 11 a.m. and school let out at 3:05. Those last 4 hours feel like 15 minutes, man. You take the long way home from school. This is what this feels like. Man, you just doing anything at this point, bro. Yo, what's your beef with Indians in Canada? What's your interest in Canada? Nothing at all. None at all. But eventually, once he got done playing, once he got done filibustering, once he got done stalling, he showed up, all right? He showed up, and OG, Baby Loca, was waiting for him when he showed up, man. All right, now, he didn't show up with 100 Crusaders as we would expect. I thought he was coming with 100 Crusaders. Right? Again, this is that popping it online. Popping it online, get a lot of y'all in trouble, bruh. You know you don't got 100 30s, man, waiting for you, man. You ain't Pooh Shiesty. You don't got 100 30s on call. This man pulled up with one 5'2" like white nationalist in a mask who was too terrified to show his face, so his heart not really in it. Like, bro, you still terrified to show that you a racist. Man, bro, your heart not in it, bro.
Okay, cool. Because I saw the barriers and I saw the dude with the mohawk. He had like the lanyard that looked like a backstage pass. So it looked like he was in a restricted area. But you said he wasn't. He was just outside the theater. All right, Fahima, cool.
He showed up with another 4'11" Mexican with a suit on. I'm like, all right, man, like, what's going on? So he showed up with two people. The 100 certified Crusaders cap. He showed up with two people. Great clown activities, bro. This has to be a code. Because how does Jake Lang convince someone to show up and put themselves in this situation? The dude who's his security is this dude right here in the black suit and the shades. That's his security guard. That's the guy that Jake Lang brought to protect him and be his shield. Whoever that dude is in a black suit, bro, you got no business being security for anybody, bro. Security should be the last option for your occupation, bro. The law homies had you running.
I would have been his security. I wouldn't have did nothing, and as soon as it got hot, I would have ran, and I would have kept my money. I would have did that. He would have been big mad.
Little bro, like, the kid couldn't be no more than 18, 19 years old, man. Had the security running for his life. Bro, you is 5'4" with a booty. You got no business securing a goddamn thing, man. Go secure a pole or something, man. Yo, this man is 100 yards away, man. Still looking back, man. Paranoid, bro. The little homies ran you off? You didn't even meet no soldiers yet, bro. You met the children. The children ran you off, man. Once they got done with the security guard, man, that brother, OG, Baby Low Crip, he took Jake Long behind the black SUV, man. And all we saw was bing, bump, bing, bump, bing, bump, bing. The type of skin I'm on you wouldn't understand. This man thought LA was like anywhere he ever been before, man. I don't know OG Baby Low situation. I don't know if bro on probation, so we going fast forward. But when you look through the SUV, through the tents, you see bing, bump, bing, bump, bing, bump, bing. Type of skin of more you wouldn't understand. What happened to the Crusader? Where was the Crusading? How you let your jaws get tested like that, man? I was expecting the Crusader to do some crusading, man. Oh, you thought it was sweet, huh? Now, here's the thing. This coward begins to actively walk towards the police. these hoes, man. These hoes. Bro then spots the police, not even police, he spots traffic officers and begins to run to the traffic officers for them to save him.
Of course he did. He's not tough. He's a LARPer. And as soon as he got that energy, he ran off. In fact, the reason why he's there protesting the BET Awards is because he felt that it was safe and sweet and that people wouldn't do that to him. Like they picking and choosing where they going and where they not going. He purposely chose to go to the BET Awards because he felt like they wouldn't do anything to him. That's why. Like he would have never went there if he knew it could have been actual smoke.
Oh, OG baby low crib is laying down some straightener, man. He's giving some straightener to that white boy, man. OG baby low crib OG, tap it with me, OG. I got a blessing. Hey, somebody tell OG tap it with me, man. I got a blessing for OG, man. This amount of straightening has to be acknowledged, man. If anybody recognize who OG baby low crib cut is, man, tell them tap in with me, man. All right.
I do not like you keep calling him that. Like I know Florida Flacco is not from LA, but like that's serious. Like stop calling him Crip. Like he's not like I wouldn't want you to call him Crip, Blood, Hoover, or no other gang. Just call him like OG Gangsta or something like that. Or just OG, but like all that calling him Crip and stuff like that, that's not a joke. That's not a game. Like, come on. Like what if somebody really think he's really a Crip and he's just out and about one day and somebody try to do something to him? Like gangbanging. Like, come on.
Happy with your boy. I got a blessing for because the OG. He gave some straightening, man. That was a mean right hook. That was a mean right hook, man. Y'all see? That hook was stiff. When you throw it, here's the misconception, okay? When you throwing the hook, a lot of y'all throw your hooks loose. Nah, okay? You got to keep it in this pot. Stiff. Oh, OG baby low crib. Stiff. Oh, that white boy chin. Oh, that white boy chin didn't see it coming, man. All right? Now, this coward, instead of, scrapping, right, throw your doodles up, instead of doing some crusading, he did some telling, all right, in real time. Ran to the traffic officers. Now, I ain't never seen nothing like this before in my life, okay? By the end of this, what we saw, okay, is this man running to the police and the police running away from him. Bro tried to tell, and they had no interest. They trying to hear him out, man. Hold on, sir. Is this your security on all faults again? Cuz this is nasty work, man. This is one of the nastiest works I've seen in a minute, man. Y'all travel 2,000 miles to go out this high? What happened to the crusading, man? All I see is crawling, homie. All I see is crawling and running. I don't see enough crusading.
Bye-bye. Skedaddle. Skedaddle.
Oh, he did go to a traffic cop. Oh, the traffic cop told him to beat it. Told him to move around. Waited him right off. That's exactly what you need to see. And again, it's not just black people. It's white people, Mexican people. Everybody chasing him off. Get out of here.
I ain't gonna lie to you, Chief.
Yo, that traffic cop mad funny though. He just keep moving around. That's crazy.
If y'all went out bad, bro. How are you on camera running to the police to tell, and the police is running away from you? Yo, the police, yo, you come this way, the police go this way. You go that way, police go this way. You go that way, cops. The cop is literally running from you, bro. They don't want nothing to do with you. You thought this was Texas. You thought the sheriffs and the officers will pull up 10 deep to protect you, right? Oh, no, not LAPD. Right? Not LA. Man, LAPD ain't pulling up 10 deep to protect nobody, and certainly not you. So after he pulled up, after he started all this nonsense, you know what happened? All right. Now, once the cameras went off, apparently Jake Lang got what he came asking for, and now he's in the hospital bed crying. He takes the X and he goes, I was just nearly murdered by a violent black mob. I'll be real.
Mind you, the mob was not even all, it wasn't even really a mob. It was like 12 people maximum. And it was men, women, young adults, and it was black people, white people, Latinos. Like, come on. But you was attacked by a black mob. And even if you was attacked by an all black mob, that's good for you. You came here looking for an issue. You got your issue.
80% of that mob were not black. And shout out to my Hispanic brothers and sisters, man, who showed up riding for the brothers, man. But 80% of that mob was not black. As simple as that. So he goes, I was just nearly murdered by a violent black mob outside the BT Awards. They smashed a glass bottle over me that shattered and cut my face. They ganged up on us like a pack of wild hyenas. I am bleeding badly and cut everywhere and on the way to the hospital now. Sir, you pulled up promising a crusade. You brought a 5'4" security guard with a big booty to secure you. That was a bad idea.
Hey, yo.
Who, like when you
pause.
You tweet something out like this, like, who are you thinking this propaganda is working on? The only people who see you call black folks the hard N-word, the only people who see you show up with a sign that offensive, the only people who see you go from city to city to city to city picking fights with black folks, and then see you come on X and claim that black folks attacked you, even though the crowd was 80% like Hispanic and white. The only people who believe that propaganda are people who already have a problem with black folks and other minorities, but nobody care about them. All right. Now, Jake Lang is out here crying. Sir, you deserve it. All right. Hey, listen, man, shout out to OG Baby Loke Crip Cuh. All right. He just gave a little bit of straightening, man. All right.
Yeah, that's enough. Shout out to Lee for putting us on to this one. Yeah. Like, get out of here. I'm happy he got washed up. That's good for him. Exactly. But you know, anytime they see black people in the crowd, it makes the whole crowd black. Like, they one drop ruled the crowd. It was three black people in the crowd, so the whole crowd is black. They one drop ruled the crowd. Shout out to everybody in the building. Now we got to move on to something more serious. For all you who don't know, this is the governor of Ohio, and he did an interview with Jake Tapper, pushing back on Trump trying to remove the TPS protection for Haitians. Let's get into this.
Joining us now, Ohio Republican Governor Mike DeWine. Governor, you just heard Secretary Mullen defend the decision. You say it's a mistake. What's your take?
Well, I think it's a mistake for a number of reasons. First of all, to go back to what you were just discussing, you cannot fly into Port-au-Prince today. The U.S. carriers are prohibited from going in there. They've extended that ban. Federal officials, the United States have extended that ban into September now, and it's been there for a long time. The reason they can't go in there is because these gang leaders who control a good part of Haiti today shoot at the planes when they come in. So that's certainly one thing. You've pointed out, advisories, heavy advisories. U.S. citizens do not go into Haiti. It's a very, very dangerous place. Just this last week, several more school children were killed just because gangs were shooting back and forth. The gangs control a significant part of Haiti. So it is clearly not safe. Anybody who has followed Haiti over a long, extended period of time knows that it's worse than it has, frankly, ever been, certainly in recent memory. But the other point is, it is not in the United States' interest, certainly not in Ohio's interest, to have people who are working every single day, who are supporting a family, who are buying houses, fixing up old houses, starting businesses, and then put deep roots in this country and really are contributing, and yank them out. I mean, look at what the mayor of Springfield says. Mayor says that is a huge, huge mistake. They're contributing. Rob Rue says they're contributing greatly. Mistake to do that. I would cite also the two Ohio congressmen who have probably the most Haitians, the Republicans who have the most Haitians in their district, voted in favor of the extension of TPS. So what I would hope that the Trump administration would do is reconsider this. Look at how it's going to impact states like Ohio. In Ohio, the Haitians are working primarily in manufacturing. They're also working in the food area. But if you look at where they're working across the country, probably the most important area they're working is in healthcare. It's Haitians who many times are taking care of your mom or your dad who has Alzheimer's, taking care of family members who might be in a nursing home. And to say we're going to pull all of those out, it's just not in our own self-interest.
Yeah,
exactly. I couldn't have put it better. And mind you, this is a Republican governor saying this. And I think the two representatives that he mentioned were also Republican. The Springfield mayor, I think he's a Democrat. But you can see this is a bipartisan issue. The Haitians have bipartisan support, especially in the Midwest, and especially people who work in the healthcare industry. They have, like, this doesn't make any sense. And like he also said, the reason it's called TPS is for temporary protection status. I think that's what it stands for. But it's whatever it stands for, it's for people to be able to come here because something happened where they're from, and they get to stay here and live here legally and work and everything until it's safe to go back home. A lot of the Haitians who came here because of the Haitian earthquake. And guess what? Before the Haitian earthquake could be fully cleaned up, and a lot of bad stuff happened in the cleanup because of the UN, but that's another topic for another day. That's when you had the gang violence and stuff. So like he said, it's not even safe to fly into Haiti. Like, there's no way to even, if a Haitian wanted to say, you know what, Trump said we got to go, I'm leaving. How do they even get back to Haiti? How? Shout out to That's Amazing for coming through with the jewels. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Thank you. But yeah, he teaching right now.
We have the retirement home that my mom's in has a lot of Haitian Americans working there. And Republican Congressman Mike Lawler has talked about that, what a drain it would be on the healthcare industry in New York. Your fellow governor, Kathy Hochul of New York, she's vowed to fight the decision. Are you going to fight it?
Look, I accept the Supreme Court's decision. In this country, they're the final say of what the law is. But I think that it's important that we separate the legal decision that was made by the Supreme Court with the issue of public policy. And we're now to the point of we have to look again at the public policy. And again, I would hope the Trump administration.
Exactly, Fahima. That's what's happening throughout the Midwest. So I said the Midwest. There's a lot of white people strung out on drugs. A lot of people who can't work, don't want to work. And the Haitians are the one coming in doing the work. They're the ones working, doing the work. That's keeping the place alive. Because again, a lot of people don't want to work. A lot of people strung out on drugs, and a lot of people moving away. Because, like, let's be real. If you have the ability to move out of Springfield, Ohio, you're moving out of Springfield, Ohio. The only people who want to stay there is the old people who lived there their whole life. The young people want to go. They out. The only ones who left is the ones who taking care of old people, strung out on drugs, or can't leave. That's pretty much all the ones that's left. Yeah, you may have your twos and threes of people who genuinely can leave but want to stay. But for the most part, that's the breakdown. That's the breakdown. Like again, but Trump is such a bigot. He's so hateful They can't. They don't care. They following the white nationalist playbook. Because remember, like Steve Bannon told Trump before, I think it was in 2015, a nation is more than this economy. When people when Trump himself was bringing up to Steve Bannon about how this type of deportation would hurt the economy, because a lot of these people work and they do a lot of jobs in the country, his response was, a nation is more than this economy. It's like, yeah, it'll make things bad, but who cares? You're right, WT. You're right. I forgot. Like in all of this, we forgot to acknowledge FBA giving the Haitians those jobs. We didn't properly acknowledge them. We did not properly acknowledge them. You're right. It wasn't no pathway to citizenship because there was no guarantee they was gonna stay. Remember, it's a TPS. It was they came. These are people who came because of the hurricane, because of the earthquake. A lot of time when people get TPS statuses, once it's safe to go back, they just go back on their own. A lot of times, even before it's safe to go back, people will go back and forth and visit. It wasn't like they was asking for a pathway to citizenship. Like what Trump is doing is like unprecedented. There's no need for a pathway to citizenship for somebody with a TPS. No, never in American history have we ever just ripped those things away like this, especially in modern American history. Remember, the El Salvadorians still living off the TPS from the Iran Contra, from the Contras and stuff. From that civil war, they still here off that one. How long ago did that war end? Nobody gets rid of them. Once you get a TPS, that's like being a citizen. But Trump, he's doing what he's doing. He's a bigot, just like with people with green cards. You're hearing about people getting deported with green cards. You're hearing about people getting stripped of citizenship right now. Tomorrow, we'll be covering it tomorrow, which is really today because it's after 12. The Supreme Court is going to rule on birthright citizenship.
Administration would reconsider what they are doing. This is an administration that is focused a lot on jobs. These are jobs that are being filled by Haitians who are filling jobs that would not be filled any other way.
Yeah.
The big picture in Ohio, if I can just finish, the big picture in Ohio is we are red hot. We are bringing companies in here. We're creating a lot of jobs. We have to do two things. And we've really focused on it. Early childhood education, Dolly Parton Imagination Library. My wife, Fran, is working on science of reading, career tech, more scholarships for college. We have to make sure our population is people who were born here. All of them have the ability to live up to their full potential. But if you look at where our growth is, if we're going to complete that, we have to have immigrants here. 75% of the growth in the last decade of the population of the state of Ohio, and we are now moving up, which is a great thing. 75% of that comes from immigrants. If you look at the state, 1/5.
Yes, immigrants are bringing the numbers for everybody. Everybody across the board, black, white, candy stripe. The immigrants is where we getting all the growth from.
Of our doctors come from some other country. 12% of our STEM workers come from some other country. I applaud the administration. I seriously do. They have done a tremendous job on the southern border. It had to be done. They did a great job. President Trump gets a lot of credit for that. I think, though, that we now need to look at what's in the best interest of the United States besides closing that southern border.
Right.
How do immigrants fit into that? We are a nation of immigrants. Ohio is a state that was built by immigrants.
Yes. Matter of fact, let's go to this. Can you see my screen? Am I still on? Yeah, here we go. Let's see what the community got to say.
Following the ruling, members of the Springfield community came together in response, some in support of the Haitian community, others in support of the ruling. 10 TV's Libby Cathy was there tonight.
Jeff Stacia, a few hundred people gathered here at Springfield City Hall tonight, holding signs and showing support for the thousands of Haitians that currently call Springfield home.
We don't know how tomorrow will be. Just rely on God's rescue.
Obed Lafai has been building a life in Springfield with his family and 3 kids for the past 2 years.
So I'm very concerned about them.
Et nous affecté très fort à une telle décision.
And we are very affected by this decision.
He was among hundreds gathered here tonight after the Supreme Court allowed the Trump administration to move forward with ending temporary protected status for thousands of Haitians and Syrians living in the U.S. About 12,000 Haitians under TPS live here in central Ohio, including Obed.
Haïti poco safe pour nous retourner.
Haiti is not yet safe for us to return there.
While Obed speaks English, he chose to do our interview in Creole, describing the uncertainty his family now faces. The president of the Springfield Haitian Community Help and Support Center says the high court's ruling
puts every family in a very bad situation, asking.
Wait, Nano, I don't know who you are. Like, I just saw you chatting here like yesterday, but what do you mean by this? One, it's temporary means till it's safe. Like you just heard the governor say, it is not safe. Like it's official U.S. government policy that planes can't even fly into Haiti. So how is it safe? That's the whole point of the temporary status, that you don't have to go back until it's safe. And if people start, and the whole point is, if people want to take root here, they can. Remember, when you're under the TPS, you can legally work in America. You are in America legally, and you can do everything that you should be able to do in a country legally. Only thing I think they can't do is vote. But otherwise than that, they can have jobs. They can go to school. They can do everything else. They can start businesses, open bank accounts, which is necessary to live your life. Remember, these people are here because their life got turned upside down where they were from. So now they can come here and they can start a new life. That's why we give them all those rights that we don't even give asylum seekers. An asylum seeker don't got the same rights as somebody with TPS. So yeah, they get to stay as long as they need to stay. Like I said, the El Salvadorian Civil War been over for how long? The El Salvadorian community is basically still here on that TPS. From like what? How many decades ago? So like, what is the hyperfixation on Haitians? Like there's a bunch of communities here on TPS. And they go back and forth to their countries. Their countries is not banned. They don't have advisory warnings. They don't have no ban on, U.S. carriers can't even fly into there. So I don't get it. I think it sounds like you pro this decision. And if you are, this is not the place for you. And if you aren't, I apologize. Because you can't just do amnesty. That's why. That's why. And again, they might be going back home. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't watch people who came here and they interviewed them. They said as soon as it's they're able to return back to Haiti, they're gonna return back. They don't want to be here. I think I saw a Haitian father talking about how he don't want to raise his kids in America. So that's why they don't give them citizenship. It's for people who want to leave. And if you do decide you want to stay when it's safe to go back, that's when it's up to you to apply for the citizenship. Oh, good to know, Nano. Good to know. Good to know. Like again, I sometimes I get animated when I'm talking, so please don't take no offense. Like I was like make it seem like I was yelling at you or something like that. It's just that this is a very passionate topic, and that's it. Exactly, Fatal. Exactly. That's another reason. Like I explained to people before with the immigration in America. If you look at all the immigrant groups who got TPS or all the groups who was brought here, they all got here because of the United States government. How did all the Filipinos get here? The Filipino-American War. How did all the Vietnamese get here? Vietnam War. That's how the Cambodians and the Laotians got here. How all the Koreans get here, Korean War. How all the Somalians get here. How all the Syrians get here. How all the Iraqis get here. How all the Afghanis get here. How all the El Salvadorians or Central Americans get here. Why all the Venezuelans was coming here. Like, people act like they ain't got no brain in their head. Like, oh, why all these people coming here? Why is America doing what they doing to their country? Like, that's the question you need to ask. And the question you need to ask before that, were they trying to come here like that before America did what they did? If the answer is no, then you know the problem. Shout out to Fado.
Question that we cannot answer.
Elle Millender works here with Haitian families and says she's worried for what comes next.
I think Springfield will be left in shambles because the Haitian families that I work with, they want to work. They're working jobs that Americans don't want to work.
Not everyone here agreed. A handful of protesters told me they support the court's decision and President Trump's immigration policies. But local pastor Carl Ruby says this policy goes too far.
I can support the president and what he has done to deport the worst of the worst, but Haitians are the best of the best in our community. And we can't support that, and we won't support it.
And tonight's event here did remain peaceful.
Look, you support the government deporting people, and you just calling them the worst of the worst when the majority of people that the Trump administration has deported have no criminal record. A lot of them were here illegally until Trump made them illegal by taking away their protection or trying to rewrite laws and stuff, like he's doing right now with challenging birthright citizenship of the 14th Amendment. Like, okay, come on. Like, you can't support that kind of evil and then get mad when that evil visits you.
Reporting in Springfield, Libby Cathy, 10 TV News.
Yes. Yeah, shout out to everybody in the building. Let's see. Shout out to AZ. Oh, FBA is stupid. That's what they're going to do. Correct. Megyn Kelly is a racist. It's a lot of I can't remember all the groups off the top of my head, but yeah, I could probably find a list. Let me see. Exactly. Suey, exactly. Oh, shout out to Benevolent in the building. Shout out to Brandon in the building. Oh, I forgot about that. Brandon, thank you for reminding me. Haitians would have never got it unless Tariq Nasheed had made that documentary. See, this is what happened when the Haitians don't support Tariq Nasheed when he gave them all those protections. Now he just took them away. He took them away now. They're done. You said it's 17? That sounds about right. I don't remember off the top of my head, but that sounds about right. Yeah, they want to do Syrians too, but they're not really going to do Syrians. Because remember, they just threw Syrians in there so they can make it seem like it's not racist. Because if you pay attention to the news, nobody's talking about the Syrians. Because he's not really going after the Syrians. This is about racism. Just like with the attack on birthright citizenship. That ain't got nothing to do with when people talking about that, it's a reason people are only talking about like people of color. Nobody white who's here from an undocumented parent got to worry about being deported or losing their citizenship. Nobody. Yeah, he just threw the Syrians in there as a throwaway. Because remember, everybody was when people was fighting this in court, they was pointing out that Trump was racist. And what did they try to use to deflect away from this? Trump ain't racist. He just don't like immigrants. Look, he's talking about Syrians too. That was literally their defense in court. Disgusting. But speaking of disgusting, let's get on to this. This is the no black authority, the white no authority, and he's going to talk about the Haitian issue. Let's see what he got to say. Shout out to everybody in the building.
Tonight on the Black Channel. Well, folks, here it is panic in the streets as the temporary protected status order has ended. The Supreme Court has ruled, despite some of the bad guys trying to stop it. Nope, the temporary protected order that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and friends were hoping would reshape and redefine things. Oh boy, they're telling them that nope, that's ended. You can start deporting them because temporary means temporary.
Deal with it, nigga.
That's basically what they're saying.
Oh my God, already with the sound effects. Come on, man. This is crazy. Let me look at the chat before, so I can get sturdy before we leave. Let's look at this. Let's see. Stanley got a question. Yes, that's exactly what he's arguing, that you're not a U.S. citizen and you can be deported. That if your parents were born in another country and they came here undocumentedly and they had you here, you now lose your U.S. citizenship. Mind you, Trump is asking that it's not fully extended. Like it's a time limit. Basically, around the time when people of color started coming to America. Because if this was to go back in time, how many white people would lose their citizenship? Trump would lose his citizenship because Trump's family is not even documented. Trump, I think Trump's family is not documented, or at least one of his parents is not documented. Like, you can't make this up. But we're gonna see what this bozo got to say. If he start being too corny, I'm putting him in doubles. I'm speeding him up. If he's still corny, I'm just gonna we're gonna have to get off this. Shout out to everybody in the building.
Boy, it's a bunch of folks upset, and I want you all to really keep track here and take note of the folks who are really upset. I want you to take the most note of who's really upset, because believe it or not, it's not really the Haitians who are the most upset, although they are very, very displeased about this. Let's go ahead and go to the Washington Post. And tonight's program, let me tell you, is jam-packed full. So you better strap in for it.
Who he going to say is the most? Let me take a guess. He's going to say it's the Democrats. The Democrats are the maddest. I think that's where he's going with this. Because, again, I have not watched this. I refuse to watch it by myself. But, yeah, I think that's where he's going with it.
Let's start with the Washington Post here. They had an article that they did. They had a video they did about this.
It breaks my heart. It's very. I have lots of my close family members that are TPS holders, and they're depending on this because they have kids to feed, and they've been in the U.S. for a long time. So.
Okay, now that's the first thing you get right there. First of all, dusty as hell. But second of all here, temporary. When they've been in the U.S. a long time. Sir, how long is temporary supposed to last? This is like having your bummy ass nephew come over. He's on drugs. He's on the pipe.
Dusty? I know this dude ain't calling nobody Dusty. Like, we done seen your mugshots, several of which you got for doing weird ass things to women. Because you weird. But you calling other people Dusty. And again, the temporary status is for until your country is safe. Again. Shout out to the boogeyman. Thank you for the $4.99. Yes, these FBA bozos are celebrating this. They weird. And they don't even understand that they celebrating a destruction. And the same thing that make you laugh, make you cry. Because the same power that Trump is wielding to do this is the same power that he's gonna wield to really, really, really hurt the black community. He's already done it by sending us back to Jim Crow 2.0. People have not really felt the pain of that and the weight of that because we still in this term, but going into 2028, 2029, yes, we're going to start feeling like a real pressure to this. And it's not going to be so funny anymore.
He was talking about he was just needed a temporary place to stay. 8 years later, that nigga is still on your couch. And what is temporary here to these folks? What do they define as, which part of temporary did they either not get or not accept or not understand? Or what part of temporary did you not get? So they're temporary. And he's like, well, they got family and kids. Okay, it doesn't sound like you're trying to be here temporarily. It sounds like you're trying to stay. So he just went straight past temporary. I mean, they got, we were allowed, this will be temporary, and temporary is supposed to be temporary for life. And this is what happens when you're bummiest and dustiest stood up here and start moving.
Lee, you just sent me that picture. Thank you for that. But I wasn't even, I noticed about his wife's and his baby mamas and his kids. I'm talking about Trump himself. Trump's mother is Scott, and I don't think she was documented. And his father's from Germany. I don't think he was documented either. It was either one of them wasn't documented or both of them wasn't documented. Either way, Trump himself would be a quote-unquote anchor baby.
Mooching off of you.
My close family members that are TPS holders, and they're depending on this because they have kids to feed, and they've been in the U.S. for a long time. So this is literally their home. They don't know how they're going to provide for their families because people work jobs. They have work permits that depends on TPS.
Some of them, they'll actually live a terrible life when.
Oh, shout out to That's Amazing for coming through with another 5. Thank you. You say he's gonna go after the CBC? Most likely, because again, like I said, I think he's gonna go after, he's gonna say the Democrats, but who knows? I didn't watch it. But you know, the CPC, the Democrats, but we both could be right. To go after the CBC, you got to go after the Democrats, but he can mainly focus on them. But yeah, let's get to it.
They go back in the country. They go back to country, terrible life. And they have to start over again, like zero.
They have to start from zero. What about they work hard? I thought they was work hard and this, that, and the other. So how's it terrible life? It sounds like we're talking past each other.
The so-called international community has always chosen our leaders. So they have, they cannot deny us a great degree of responsibility into this catastrophe that Haiti has been. So returning Haitians to Haiti is returning to a life of certain calamity, abuses or death.
Okay, now, in case you all didn't notice there before, this guy here is a Haitian radio host. So he's a Haitian radio host. And what he's saying is not wrong. The European colonial powers, the Western powers, America, oh, they've had the full court press on Haiti the whole time. Let's be very, very clear about that. Oh, he's not wrong. Somebody in the chat room said DJ Tether. But, I mean, he's not wrong.
Look at that. The guy is, look, they so full of hate. They so full of hate. They so disgusting. This man is talking about the tragedy that's been happening to the Haitian people, and you're agreeing, but you took time to say somebody called him DJ Tether, and you played your sound effect, which means you was building that up to do that. Like, you're so corny. Fatal. The reason they attack Haitians is because, again, FBA is a white nationalist psyop, and Haitians are the most hated group of black people in America. So, of course, that's why they focus so much on Haitians. They are white nationalist psyop. Snowman, the memberships to the channel run from 99 cents to, I think, I don't remember. I know it's just started at 99 cents. It's 5 levels. Yeah. And that's disgusting. Like, how dare he? Like, oh, like this is supposed to be funny. This is supposed to be a joke. What you said, Trump's mom? Yes, like I said, Lee, one of his parents was not here legally. Bozo.
He's not wrong in what he's saying. Everything he's saying is absolutely anatomically and factually correct. Oh, you are right about so much you're saying there, sir, which makes it all the more perplexing that when your feet touch soil in America, you have had animosity and hostility towards the foundation that made it possible, because you see.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Now he gonna come lying, saying that, oh, you came here and you've been hostile to black people in America. Lies. 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 So now he's claiming, first of all, he said you. He's talking about this guy specifically. And but we know in general, he's talking about Haitians. When have Haitians come here just to be hostile to black people in America? When? You just made that up. These are lies. These are lies. Shout out to Vegeta in the building. Yes. Bozo, the foundation. The foundation. Disgusting.
You are in the grip of an unjust system and an unjust empire. And so you see, when an unjust empire runs wild on you, they don't take care of you after they've destabilized you, dominated you, raped you, pillaged you. That's not the way that works. You're dominated. You're under the boot. You're at their mercy, and they have none. So you see, that's the circumstances you're under. See, you're confused. Well, they done us wrong and they took what we got. Yeah, that's what empires do, particularly unjust ones. This isn't justice.
Shout out to Naps in the building. Yeah, like you babbling. Like you babbling. Like this dude is babbling. He's disgusting. Haitians have never come to America to attack black people in America. That has never happened. In fact, America has worked to turn black people in America against Haitians. Like in church, teaching people that the Haitian Revolution only succeeded because the Haitians made a deal with the devil. That's how they was able to get free. Like always, like demonizing Haiti constantly to black people in America. I know, because when I was little, I didn't fully process it, because it was white people doing it, and I just didn't fully process it. Like, how are Haitians evil because they freed themselves from slavery? But as I got older, I realized, like, oh no, they're not. You're just saying that because you're racist and you're just mad. That's why I said Haitians are the most hated. That's another reason why they attack Carter G. Woodson's teachings of Black history, because as you know, we might have to go over that one day. Carter G. Woodson, what's the proper word for this? Course. Because Carter G. Woodson created courses of Black history. And he also taught people, if somebody ever tell you that black people can't do something, point to Haiti. Point to Haiti. You will always refute them by pointing to Haiti. Remember, Haiti is the first source of Black pride in America. The first source. Like, black people who knew about Haitian holidays all celebrated Haitian holidays. Frederick Douglass was giving a speech on commemorating a Haitian holiday. I can't remember which one. And talked about how Haiti gave black people in America pride. Like, to sit up here and talk like this about Haitian people, it's just insane to me. I don't even know what to say.
This is power. They taking what you got, and they leave you with nothing, and then they come and check back in periodically just to make sure you ain't got nothing. So you've confused the fact that we were able to stop them here and started transferring that to, that's a benefit you supposed to get. You see, you had your heads on straight during the days of Toussaint Louverture and Dessalines. You had your heads on straight back then, but in the words of our immortal ancestor, Dr. John Henry Clarke, he has to remind us that So many of you saw yourselves as black Frenchmen.
I don't remember that. I don't not remember that. Shout out to 24 in the building. 24 just came through and gifted 5 people memberships. Family, if he gifted you a membership, make sure you thank 24 and make sure you keep it going. You could even raise it, lower it, but keep it going. Peace. Peace, 24. Peace. I wish I ain't hear from him in a while myself. Like, come on. Like, this dude is just like, he's just so corny. He always tried to sound cool and all this other stuff. And it's just like shut up. Yes, Tariq made a movie about the Haitian Revolution. The funny part about that is when Tariq made that documentary, I had asked, how are you making a documentary about the Haitian Revolution, but you have not made a documentary about black people and they struggle for freedom in America? And what was his response? His response was, black people in America didn't free themselves. Haitians did. We had to wait for the white men to free us. Like, you see the 180 that this bozo had done? And not just him, all of them. Because that's how I originally got into problems with the so-called new black media before they was even calling themselves new black media, because they would constantly talk down on black people in America and constantly put other black people, mainly Haitians and people from the Caribbean, but Haitians mainly and Africans on a pedestal, which is so funny. Like, they did a complete 180. Complete 180. You're right, Snowman. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's just like bastardizing John Henry Clark. And you know, his audience, they don't know who that is. They might vaguely know who he is, but they never read none of his books. They didn't listen to his lectures. So he can just say anything and they're gonna go for it. Yeah, I call them bozos all the time. They all block me on all their Twitters. See, they don't ever want to talk on a neutral platform. They want you to call in today's show so they could curse you out, bring people on to curse you out. And then when you hang up, they're going to declare victory. And if you don't hang up, they're going to laugh at you and say you a bozo for sitting there and letting people talk to you like that and then hang up on you. Yeah, let's get back to this, though.
Oh, I got to read the mail. So many of you saw yourselves as and see yourselves as and identify as black Frenchmen. And so you see, when it was time to serially cut ties, what you have to do is link up with somebody else, and you made it a point. I want you all to understand what the devastating part is about identifying as a black Frenchman. This is what many of you didn't understand. Let me go ahead and make this logic connect for you here. You see, the problem with seeing yourself as an immigrant is that when you come around us, black folk in the foundation, when you come around us, you don't see yourself as one of us. You see yourself as an immigrant. So even if they're Asian or Middle Eastern,
but if they did see themselves as you and they demanded to be recognized as you, you would accuse them of cosplaying. See, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. If they come around you as you, they cosplaying. If they come around you, but they keep their own identity, they trying to separate themselves from you. It's like no matter what the people do, they gonna be wrong in your eyes. That's how you know this is just about hate. This is just about hate.
You see yourself as an immigrant first and black, not really low. Well, if you see yourself as a black Frenchman, that means you see yourself as a European. They see themselves as dark-skinned Europeans who are being done wrong by the mother country. Ain't that right, Jamaica? We're members of the British Commonwealth, and we're not being well served by the crown. So don't you all be deceived about what their grievance really is. Their grievance is that they don't feel like they're being done right by the mother country, France. So that's what.
And you're disrespecting Jamaicans. Of all black people to disrespect in America, you disrespect Jamaicans. The most accomplished, the oldest, the biggest black immigrant group in the country. That's who you choose to disrespect. Like if we put together, like I said this before, I'm gonna say it again. There is no way to put together a 20 most accomplished black people in American history list without at least 4 Jamaicans being on it. Not even possible. Oh, I forgot to bring that up. Lee, you said not too many advertisers tonight. Good, because I like for the last 2 days, that's why I haven't streamed, is because I was trying to figure out how do I get the ads to not come, but my monetization stays on. I'm working on it. I meant to ask, like, hey, let me know if y'all getting ads tonight, because there should be no ads during the stream. The ads should come at the end of the stream. But thank you. So I guess whatever I did worked a little bit. But let's get back to this.
What their real beef is. How do we get the mother country to do right by us? And so when they see you as the foreigner and the problem. That's what they see you as. You're the issue. And really, they need to see about getting things together as Europeans is what they really want to do. That's the real goal. So just recognize where the problem really stems from. And let me be clear, you're about to hear a whole bunch of evidence tonight. I did not bring receipts. I brought invoices. You're about to see a stream of evidence tonight to bear that out. By the way, in the chat room, Faceless, don't worry, you'll be required to call in when I open up the Zoom. So patience, you'll be required to call in. Always leaving up the tethers to try to jump the damn line. No respect for anything. I just know doors. Let me over this wall, nigga. So it becomes that. Everything they do is just bum rushing the door and just knocking things in and stealing whatever you can grab. And
oh my God, man, you want to be Tariq so bad, but you corny. Like Tariq is corny, but he has his moments when he's funny. You're just corny. That's what I'm about to do. Like, oh my God, he's corny. We just gotta. I want to just hear who he's gonna say is the real problem. Like, yeah. So I'm gonna be speeding him up. Speed him up a little bit.
Okay, and that's way of life right there. Look at the rest of it. What's wrong with you guys? Why you not just take these over here? Why don't you just take this back where you come from? I European. So that's going on right there. That's going on right there. Not to be left out, everyone's favorite Haitian tether, Roland Martin. Oh, you knew it was coming. Fair use. Boy, doesn't he look like a big brown spud? What? All right. Well, the jokes write themselves with this nigga. But in any case, so this guy here, Roland, in case you all were wondering if he had something to say, yes, he did. And I'm so glad that he spoke about this, because if you want to know what he identifies as, of course, he's most agitated by this decision. He ain't saying a damn word about the Syrians. He's concerned about the Haitians. So Roland's letting you all know.
But you're not saying a word about the Syrians. Nobody's saying a word about the Syrians, because everybody knows the Syrians was just thrown in there as a way to try to have plausible deniability about the racism of this action. They're like, how many Syrians are in America? And this is really about going after Haitians. Trump has always said that.
What car he rides in? He rides in the Haitian car. And this piece tonight, clear-cut evidence. He rides in the Haitian car. I want you to see who it is that he's going to and who it is that he cites to defend the Haitians. Please understand, he doesn't go to the Haitians for this.
The Supreme Court sides with Donald Trump when it comes to deporting Haitian and Syrian immigrants. In a 6-3 ruling, the court overturned a lower court decision.
And look, he just lied. Look, Roland Martin said Haitians and Syrians, and it says Haitian and Syrian right here. Like, imagine if he didn't play this clip and I wasn't paying attention. Like, this is the crazy part. You debunked yourself live on air. But whatever.
Decisions and sided with the administration. It could affect more than 350,000 Haitians and 6,100 Syrians working and living legally in the U.S. under temporary protected status. Nearly 1.3 million people from 17 different countries are currently in the U.S. under temporary protected status. And immigration activists warn that today's ruling empowers Donald Trump to target even more of these people. Andrea, Flores, founder of Securing America's Promise and former DHS and White House advisor, joins us right now. I'm glad to have you here, Andrea. This is obviously devastating. And these are people who came here due to humanity.
This is obviously devastating to whom?
Nigga, what?
This is obviously devastating to whom?
To the American economy. Like, do you not know about how the governor of Ohio has come out himself to say you can't do this? You'll destroy Ohio, our economy. Then the governor of New York talked about this too, like about how a lot of the healthcare professionals in New York are Haitian. Like, you do know that, right? Like, this is devastating to America. Just like when people try to pretend rounding up a bunch of Mexicans wasn't going to, and Central Americans wasn't going to be devastating. And then next thing you know, no construction is getting done. Next thing you know, food prices are going up because nobody's there to process the food, pick the food. Nobody's there to do that. So the food that is being processed has to become more expensive. People losing farms, people losing out on harvests. Yes, that affects people. Exactly, Fahima. I was just about to bring that up. Roland has one great-grandparent who happens to be Haitian. But Tariq said that Roland is Haitian. This is why I've been told people there's no such thing as a half FBA. That half FBA talk was something that Tariq invented later on to justify trying to be cool with certain people or to not make it seem like he was really a hater. Because the people will point out, like, well, if Roland Martin's a Haitian, then what? What about all the other people who have Jamaican grandparents that you be mentioning and stuff like that? Oh, well, those people are good. See, you got to understand, they never did nothing to violate the grassroots. So they have FBA. And as long as they didn't violate the grassroots, they okay and they good. Nonsense. Damn, Immortal. Oh, shout out to Paula Walla in the building. Exactly. Damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Boom. It ain't devastating to me. How many of you are devastated by this? I want to know how many of y'all are sitting here right now. Damn, this is devastating. How many of you got up this week and said, boy, have you seen the Supreme Court? I'm watching it minute by minute. How many of you were devastated by this? Because Roland says this is devastating. I need a show of hands, all the devastated people. All the folks who are devastated, give me the red X emoji in the chat room. To everybody who's not devastated, give me the fireworks emoji in the chat room. If you are devastated, give me the red X. But if you're not devastated, give me the fireworks emoji in the chat room because
oh man, I tried to put his screen back up so see what his chat is doing, but I don't know how to. Let me see if I could get it. No, let me see. Nope, I can't get his chat back up. In fact, let me see if I can. Yeah, his live chat. I got it back up. So let's look right now. Let's look. Let me do something real quick. Let me take my comments off. Let's see what his chat put.
According to Roland, this is devastating. I'm just trying to figure out who are the devastated people. Who are the devastated people that he's referring to?
This ruling empowers Donald Trump to target even more of these people. Andrea Flores, founder of Securing America's Promise and former DHS and White House advisor, joins us right now. I'm glad.
Okay, so Roland goes to another immigrant.
Look, y'all see all the fire emojis, right? Y'all see all the firework emojis, right?
So he goes to Miss Flores, who appears to be a white Latina. So, yeah, I just wanted you all to keep track of who he's going to discuss defending the Haitians. Who are the people who are most concerned about this? And then you start hearing things, and this all squares the circle for you and gives you the 720 degrees of comprehension that you'll receive absolutely nowhere else. Listen carefully.
720 degrees. 720 degrees. That's 2 circles. That means that puts you right back where you started at. Man, you can't make this up. Shout out to everybody in the building. Oh, shout out to That's Amazing for sending another 5. You might, matter of fact, yeah, that's one of the reasons he created half FBA. That's one of the reasons. Matter of fact, no, it's not, because his wife, the half side is white. Remember, the half FBA thingy is only for people who have black immigrant ancestry. So, because again, Peanut is full FBA as far as Tariq is concerned, because she got a quote unquote FBA father and a white mother. But if her mother had been Jamaican, then she would be a half FBA. That's how disgusting FBA is. That's how degenerate they are, using terms like black immigrant blood. That's why you had that other dude, that other FBA member talking about filthy African blood, but European blood is so precious and so cool, and he ain't got no problem with that. That's what all these FBA bozos. If you notice, like I said before, you never hear none of these FBA bozos arguing about the so-called European, no, not so-called, but the European DNA in their body. They never argue about that. They never try to ask you to prove or try to show them how they got European ancestry. They even be celebrating it. They only don't believe in DNA and questioning the history when it comes to the black side, the African side. These guys are disgusting.
To have you here, Andrea. This is obviously devastating. And these are people who came here due to humanitarian crisis. And Donald Trump wants these folks out. And let's be real clear. Donald Trump wants black people and people of color out. They welcome white folks from other parts of the world.
Okay, Karine Jean-Pierre welcomes white folk into her bed. What? Damn. Okay,
you knew he was going to say something stupid like that. So Roland is teaching right now. He's literally said that this is only about people. This is mainly about black people and people of color. This is not about white people. We just saw what he did by letting all those white people in the country from South Africa. And as far as I know, he ain't trying to get rid of the TPS for the Ukrainians, because the Ukrainians got TPS too. They got TPS, or they got some type of program. He ain't trying to do away with that for them. He's not. Everybody knows that. But you're going to sit here and say something corny like that.
And just keeps leaving.
And your leader, Tariq Nasheed, said he would raise the flag of Europe in the bedroom for Brooke Hogan. What about that? What about that? And you still following him?
That part out. I mean, the immigrant class are the ones who get off the damn boat. Oh, where are the white women? Whether it's in America or the UK or the Caribbean. So the first thing they do is look for white folk. White folk come showing up. They're not holding a damn grudge in Haiti. When white folks show up in Haiti, they come out dancing and singing. And what you need, boss? What you need, massive? Now, all of a sudden, there's a problem? Not really. No, it's not really like that.
They absolutely do. I mean, the racial animus issues in this case, it was very clear that the Supreme Court did a very shocking thing and essentially discarded any evidence that President Trump had been racist against Haitian immigrants, despite all of the statements that most Americans have heard him say about the Haitian American community. And this decision won't just impact Haitians and Syrians. It could actually open the door for up to 1.3 million immigrants who are here legally to lose their status.
Okay. Exactly. This guy's such a bozo. We just gonna let him finish up so we can go. Shout out to Stanley for coming through with the 10. Much appreciated. Yes, Trump never apologized because they knew the story was false to begin with. Remember, when JD Vance was asked about the story being false but still pushing it, he tried to justify it. And again, Trump is going after people who are here legally. The majority of people that Trump has deported are people who are here legally. People who are here undocumentedly, those people are not getting deported like that. What Trump is doing is breaking trust in the American system to the point where we're gonna actually have a real undocumented issue for like a generation or two, because people are gonna say, hey, I'm not getting documented. Why? So a Republican get elected and just try to remove my documentation, I might as well just live here undocumented. I don't got to pay taxes. I can keep all my money. I could do a whole bunch of stuff that I want to do. Like that document stuff don't help me. That costs me money. Like you can't make this up.
Well, all right. So far, so good. Okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down. All right, ma'am. Well, I'm so good. Say less. Say less. Say less. Okay, what's the say less, ma'am? I'm all for it. Say less. So far, so good.
And it will allow President Trump to take it away without courts being able to review it. So it is a devastating decision. And to exactly your point, it is targeting immigrants who are from countries that the president has openly called undesirable and has made many derogatory remarks about. So it's a really, really sad day for the country.
And of course, you have folks who are running for office who understand the implications of this decision.
I want you all to pay attention to this next part, because if you want to know what the root is of so much of the arrogance that you've seen from the illegal alien immigrant class, this Roland goes straight to it. So he knows, because he's been working.
Again, none of these people are illegal. You just heard what she said, right? These people are documented. Trump is trying to take away their legal status.
Collaborating with the bad guys. He's about to show you all what him and his immigrant kind really think and what it really is that emboldens them so much.
One of the Republicans who is on a very tight, leash when it comes to his district is Mike Lawler. There are many Haitian immigrants or folks of Haitian descent in his district. This is what he said. While I have never disputed the ability of the president to end temporary protected status, I strongly disagree with ending Haitian TPS at this time.
Yeah, folks. Now, for those of you who know, Mike Lawler is a Jewish white supremacist. Let's just make that very clear. He's like Randy Fine. He's one of these Jewish white supremacists. And yet, on this issue, by the way, with illegals in general, Mike Lawler is actually very much in favor of illegal aliens.
Oh, now I see what he's doing. He is now JQing. He's JQing. He's like again, I knew it. Because like I said, this is a white nationalist psyop. So now he's JQing. Now he's promoting the mystical cabal of Jews. Now he's promoting that it's the Jews. It's the Jews who the people who are really trying to keep the illegals in the country. The illegals don't even want to stay in the country this bad. The people going the hardest to keep them in here, it's the Jews. The Jews. They're trying to keep them here. The Jews brought them, and now the Jews are trying to keep them. While Trump, our glorious leader, is trying to protect us from the mystical cabal and what they want to do. That's what he's promoting. Disgusting. Beyond disgusting. But as I got it paused right now, let me show y'all something real quick. I think this is it. Shout out to everybody in the building. I think this is it. Can y'all see my screen? My audio still good. Cool. Let's look at this.
Just once and for all, you again started this in part by saying that, at which Donald Trump repeated on the debate stage, that, and he didn't say anything about the policies that you're talking about. He just said Haitians are eating dogs and cats. Can you affirmatively say now that that is a rumor that has no basis with evidence?
Dana, the evidence is the firsthand account of my constituents who are telling me that this happened. And by the way, I've been trying to talk about the problems in Springfield for months, and the American media ignored it. There was a congressional hearing just last week of angel moms who lost children because Kamala Harris let criminal migrants into this country who then murdered their children. The American media totally ignored this stuff until Donald Trump and I started talking about cat memes. If I have to...
Yeah, I gotta put my 2 cents into this.
Well, y'all heard it. He just he just acknowledged that it wasn't true. But yeah, let's go back. Matter of fact, I think I could find something better. I think we could find something better. Let me get out of here. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Go back. Here we go.
Vance was on CNN yesterday and admitted that he created the story about Haitian migrants eating animals.
If I have to,
But it
if
wasn't
I have
just a
to
meme, sir.
create stories so that the American media actually pays attention to the suffering of the American people, then that's what I'm going to do, Dana. Because
You just said
we
that
ought
you're
to be
creating
talking
a
about
story.
public policy.
Sir, you just said that you're creating the story.
Vance was on.
Yeah, creating the stories out of thin blue sky. Out the thin blue sky. Reverse Uncle Ruckus. The issue is that neo-Nazis don't believe it's the same. See, this got to understand. White supremacy, there's different factions of white supremacy. The whole Jews ain't white, and the Jews are trying to poison the blood of the people by bringing in a bunch of illegals. That's neo-Nazi talk. That's Nazi talk. So yeah, that's not the same. That's neo-Nazi talk that he's doing. That he's pushing right now. Yeah, but let's get back to this. I'm gonna let him finish up, and then that's it. We like probably gonna do like 3 more minutes of this, and that's it.
Him and that female Latina representative down there in Florida, both of them want to work together. Both of them Republicans. Both of them want to work together to give mass amnesty. Both of them are working on the law. They want to pass a bill to give mass amnesty. So these are 2 Republicans. But Mike Lawler, who has nothing but vitriol and venom for black people, and all of a sudden, Mike Lawler is, well, he's big on Haitians here. But here's the part I want you to understand. This is a white politician who's about to go on and on. Take a look at how long his comment goes here. He's about to go on and on and on and on about why it is that Haitians are so necessary here. A man who's had nothing but absolute venom and hatred for the descendants of the American slaves, and yet for these illegals, all of a sudden, I mean, he's the biggest cheerleader. And
so now you ADOS again? You just heard what he said, right? So I guess he's ADOS again.
He's going to go on and on. I wonder why.
First, the situation on the ground in Haiti is a humanitarian and political disaster and continues to warrant an extension. The State Department has a level 4 travel advisory telling all Americans to evacuate and not travel there precisely because the gangs are in charge of the country, engaged in gun and drug trafficking and kidnapping innocent Haitians.
Okay, the United States government created this issue. The United States government has created the issue and continues to recycle and renew the issue roughly every 10 to 15 years. Actually, every 5 years. This is a direct result of the United States government's actions in Haiti. And yet Mike Lawler doesn't say a word about it. So he acknowledges all the problems, which, by the way, you never hear him talk about here in America. You never hear him talk about this kind of thing among us here in America. So him and the United States government are responsible for engineering these issues in Haiti. He doesn't say a word about the hand that the United States plays in causing this to happen. So he talks about the problem. And by the way, take a look at this. So what you're really doing is indicting the United States government, Representative Lawler. You're really indicting the U.S. government with this. When's the last time that Mike Lawler took to the floor of the House and spoke like this on behalf of Haiti, by the way? So he's saying this in a statement, but when has he ever taken to the floor of the House to go and campaign for this? You know, like he does for Israel. He hasn't treated Haiti like Israel at all. But yet he's defending it and saying all the things that we've been saying for decades. Why is he not in law fighting against the Trump administration and whatnot to say this? Where's he been all this time to say this as an elected politician? He hasn't been. And yet he sounds so effusive in defending them, doesn't he? I wonder what it's for. I'll tell you.
Then he also says, second, of the 350,000 lawful Haitian TPS holders, roughly 1/3 work in our healthcare system. Immediately shutting off TPS will create a crisis in our hospitals, nursing homes, and in the I/DD community. This is the thing, Andrea.
Okay, now I want you all to remember something here. When you ask yourselves, how is it that these folks, these illegals, are so damn bold and so damn arrogant and so damn narcissistic and sitting up here, I mean, top of the line, dusty as hell, and sitting up here trying to act like they really special or really something? It's like, who gave them that idea? And these folk who gave me the idea. See, when they encounter the white folk in politics or whatever, they're sitting there telling them that we need more like you. So they're hearing it directly from the horse's mouth. Or other orifice. They're hearing it directly from the white folk. White people in corporations, white people in the government, white people in positions of power, they're the ones telling them, oh, we need folk like you. Oh, you're much better than those descendants of the slaves who are always causing trouble. We need more just like you. You're the kind of people that we need. So they come up, that's why they think they can be so bold in your face. This is the problem right here, nigga. You do not understand. The white folks, they love us. This is the problem. They love us because we work and we do good. And if you would just do good too, then you wouldn't have this problem right here. That is the problem. They're not racist. They are not racist. The problem is you, nigga. They don't have a problem with black people. They just have a problem with you. Y'all get that? They don't have a problem with black people. They just have a problem with you, niggas. They have a problem with you. They don't have a problem with us. I'm black. I'm from Haiti. They don't have a problem with black people. They love black people. They just don't like you lazy niggas. Now you know where it comes from, where it really emanates from. Now you know where that attitude really comes from. Oh, no, this isn't just one example. Don't worry. Roland's going to give us more. Hang tight.
Off TPS will create a crisis in our hospitals, nursing homes, and in the I/DD community. And this is the thing, Andrea, I have continued to say that people do not understand. They do not understand how integrated our society is with immigrants in this country. We're talking about critical areas. I'm going to read a quote in a minute from the Ohio governor, Mike DeWine. He knows that if Donald Trump decides to send in his ICE boots into Springfield, Ohio, that is going to completely destroy the economy there, because it was the Haitian immigrants that actually restored the economy of Springfield and in the housing, because they had lost some 30,000 people over 2 decades.
Nigga, please. If you're going to be a propagandist, this is how pathetic these tellers are. If you're going to...
Oh my God, man. Like, get to the point. I'm speeding this dude all the way up. I'm sorry, y'all. Speeding him all the way up. I tried to let him talk, but I got to speed him all the way up. Because it's like he's not saying nothing. Like, get to your point.
Be a propagandist, at least be a logical good one. Folks, how do you devastate a society with 30,000 people? 30,000 people is enough to, quote, rejuvenate. 30,000, that's it.
Because it's Springfield, Ohio. It's a small place. It's not New York City. New York City could lose 30,000 people and nobody will notice. Springfield, Ohio, that's a big deal. For the whole state of Ohio, that's a big deal. Like, this ain't Texas. This ain't California. This ain't Florida, Pennsylvania, or Georgia. This is Ohio we're talking about.
I mean, he's acting like the number was 30 million, 30,000. First of all, we don't know how many it is because they're stirring around, but he's telling you all you lost 30,000 over the course of 2 decades. And then he's telling you that all these Haitians, everything is wonderful in Shangri-La and they revitalized things. How many of you have wanted to go to Springfield, Ohio? How many of you have heard about how things are popping in Springfield, Ohio? Show of hands. How many of you heard that things were popping in Springfield because of the Haitians? The thriving job market, the glorious nightclub scene, the clean neighborhoods. And how many of you heard about how things in Springfield, Ohio are popping because the Haitians showed up a few years ago? Where's that press release? Because according to Roland, that's a thing.
That's right. I mean,
this nigga don't even look. He don't even look honest. Look at his face. He's damn near about to crack a smile. Even he, this is the face of dishonesty. Jason, stop interrupting. I can't. This is the face of dishonesty right here. He doesn't even look sincere.
This decision is devastating for the economy. It's going to hurt the construction industry.
How many times you two gonna say devastating? Damn it.
That's right. I mean, this decision is devastating for the economy. It's going to hurt the construction industry, the healthcare industry. It's going to make the cost of living crisis much worse because TPS is a type of immigration policy that Americans generally support, right? Immigrants come forward, they're vetted, and they work.
Lie.
Legally, and they fill jobs that other Americans cannot fill. So if
lie. Okay, folks, let me tell you something right now. These are big ass liars. And when you have no good low lives like Rolling the Bowling Ball, Tetherface Martin sitting up here, jobs Americans don't want, Americans won't do. How about me and the rest of the young black men from Shreveport, Louisiana, who were trying to get construction jobs 30 years ago, 20 years ago, and can't get any? They were building skyscrapers, doing renovations to Independence Stadium, building the casinos. We couldn't get any jobs. They were happy to have us frozen out of the economy. These white companies, because the government would give them the contracts, and the white companies made, we don't have to hire the black folk, we'll hire the Mexican illegals. We were there to do the damn job, only when they rewrite the history, nobody wanted to do that. We ain't got no labor. What about all the black, me and the rest of the young black folk? I'm not telling you what somebody else told me. I'm telling you, I was one of those young men out of high school, and that's exactly where I went. There was plenty of construction going on at the time. In Shreveport, there was plenty of construction going on at the time. However, in places like Shreveport, Dallas, Houston, Miami, Atlanta, DC. Everywhere you go, if you black, you can't get hired. Even today, you'll have 1 or 2 black folk, and that's it. That's not a skilled trades issue. That is we brought in illegal specifically so we can freeze you out. And then these lying asses come back talking about what you don't want to do and what you wouldn't do. You were sitting right there. Oh, no, you weren't there. So this is what they used to do back in the broadcast television era. Back then, they get on TV. Well,
oh my God, he's freezing. This thing is freezing up too. Come on. We about to skip past this.
You all just don't. Americans won't do that. Now that we have a microphone to speak about this, those of you who've been there and were there or are still there, yeah, this is the time for us to speak about that and remind you, oh no, I was there, and it wasn't a matter of a lack of us doing anything. It was.
Shout out to everybody.
These are a bunch of middle-class people who done built the suburbs. They're sitting up around here grabbing, eating everybody's damn cats and dogs, and he's sitting up here acting as if they done built the Hamptons. I mean, I guess you have to lie to keep that going, but yeah, 10,000.
To immediate deportation. This also means that while these Haitians were working and contributing to our community and economy yesterday, it is now illegal to employ them.
Okay, they were illegal the whole time, as a matter of fact, even with Joe Biden shenanigans. They've been illegal the whole damn time.
The situation in Haiti could hardly be much worse. The
situation in Haiti can actually be a whole lot worse, actually. Believe it or not, it actually can get a lot worse.
It is now illegal to employ them. The situation in Haiti could hardly be much worse. The violent gangs run most of the country. The government barely functions, and the economy is in shambles. Further, our federal government has an advisory against traveling to Haiti. And our Federal Aviation Administration prohibits U.S. carriers from flying there because of the danger the planes are being shot at by the gangs. But more importantly, changing the immigration status of these individuals is not in the best interest of the United States nor Ohio.
I want to go ahead and play that for you all because I want to remind you here. That sounds very familiar, doesn't it? Well, remember, this was Mike Lawler's statement. The situation on the ground in Haiti is a humanitarian political disaster and continues to warrant an extension. The State Department has a level 4. Or are they killing the pets? Because she said they're killing people. I mean, cats and dogs. Or is she one of these white women who considers cats and dogs to be people? Another white person. Roland Martin knew what the hell he was doing. They're cobbling together their white people to tell you that, oh, these are the folk who are co-signing. What makes the illegals think that they're okay? Because these are the white folk that they talk to who co-sign, who defend them.
Okay, so now we done with this because now I got the gist of it. The problem, he's saying that it's the white people. The main defenders of the Haitians was the white people. All right, whatever. We getting off that. This dude is a clown. Total waste of time. Bozo. Let me see. I want to cover this before I get off real quick because I was meaning to cover this. But I think it's best if I do it this way. Shout out to everybody in the building. This is Amazing Lucas. He's talking about the black conservative perspective. He's attacking the black conservative perspective is attacking black people because people are talking about the sister who was found lynched on Juneteenth. Like, I didn't even hear about this story. That's another thing. These FBA bozos, they spend all their time talking about other black people attacking other black people nonstop, that there are real issues happening to the black community that's not being covered. I didn't even know about this. Somebody in the comment section on one of my videos said something about this. And I looked into it and I saw it. And I'm like, that really happened on Juneteenth? That's crazy. But yeah, let's get into this. Shout out to everybody in the building.
Happened. Oh my goodness. So there was a story that was brought to my attention about this 27-year-old black girl named Tanae Miller. And apparently she was found hanging from a tree. And this was due to her traveling from Michigan to Miami for a Juneteenth celebration. That was the narrative. Upon hearing this,
I didn't even know these details. She must have got caught in a sundown town because I heard another story about a brother who was traveling and he had stopped in a sundown town and they had found him dead 3 days later or something like that.
The first reaction to anyone who has an IQ above room temperature is, that doesn't sound right? You mean a person, black woman, traveling to Miami from Michigan to celebrate Juneteenth, somehow winds up hanging from a tree? Something doesn't sound right. Something sounds of foul play. Now, naturally, like I said, that's a normal person's reaction. When it comes to a Sambo soldier, they think, oh, well, of course, black person hanging from a tree, that's normal. Why are black people making such a big deal out of it?
So we got to talk about more pro-black conspiracy theories, not based off facts and evidence, but based off this idea that black people cannot hang themselves, right? It's impossible for black people to commit suicide via hanging.
I am the king.
But I've never seen someone hit such a low. I've never seen someone tap dance on the grave of a black person as this marsupial does. So to act like this is some, you know, out of the atmosphere concept is ludicrous. You only do
exactly. Like, this guy is disgusted, and he's like really stupid. It's like he has 1 million subscribers. It ain't nothing over there but a bunch of white people co-signing him, saying, yeah, you're right. You're so smart. Yes, agree with everything we say. Like, again, a black person was found hanging from a tree. The first thing you should be thinking is lynching, not suicide, lynching. That's the first thing you're supposed to be thinking. Until proven otherwise. And even if you're not thinking lynching, you should never attack or disparage black people who are. It's like, how many centuries do black people gotta die like that by racist white hands before we have the right to say, well, it looks to me like this is a possible lynching without being mocked.
this if you're tap dancing for a white ignorant audience.
But Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes.
Now, having said that, I've done due diligence into the story, and I've noticed there's a lot of misinformation just going around. For example, when it comes to her, going from Michigan to Florida, Miami, for Juneteenth celebration, that's unfounded. Even her sister at the conference says that that's bullcrap.
Because my sister wasn't down here for no fucking Juneteenth. She been down here since February.
So you get a lot of people saying that. Now,
exactly. I'm happy I clicked on this because, again, I heard that she died on Juneteenth. I didn't even hear she was going to a Juneteenth celebration. That's why I'm like, oh, she was going to a Juneteenth celebration? I didn't even hear that. Thank you for the news. But thank you again, Amazing Lucas, for clearing that up. Because as far as I know, she was found dead on Juneteenth. Not that she was traveling to a Juneteenth celebration. Yeah.
I want you to understand that
the niggas gotta stop making stuff up. Cause this is a problem. Like, that's why I don't respect none of these other these bozos. Because they make stuff up and they muddy the water and it opens the door for a bozo like the black conservative perspective to throw shade on the situation and throw doubt on it. Be like, oh, maybe that didn't happen. Because these stories are unfounded. Look at all these lies and all these inconsistencies. But still no justification, because as you heard him say out his own mouth that, oh, the first thing black people think when they see a black person hanging is that it was a lynching, because they don't believe black people could hang themselves. So yeah, he wasn't even going about the misinformation angle. He was just taking the, oh, black people got a problem with seeing racism everywhere angle.
That was the story that this marsupial, this transgender dwarf reported on, right? He was under the impression that she traveled from Michigan to Juneteenth. Now, even that not being the case, anyone with an IQ above room temperature would go, why would someone travel from Michigan to Juneteenth to simply hang themselves in a Miami park, right? How does that make any sense? If someone's suicidal, they wouldn't travel all the way to Miami for a Juneteenth celebration to do that. They wouldn't unalive themselves. That makes no sense. But once again, this simple.
Oh yeah, he did report on the misinformation. But yeah, but even if that's the case, like Amazing Lucas is saying, it makes no sense for him to do that.
Simpleton then tries to blame black people. He then goes and says, well, if there was something, it would be about black people. And it's hard to understand him because he has a crazy lisp. But he's talking like, oh, it'd be black people because she was there for Juneteenth.
Let me adjust that. I'm not going to say that there's no foul play for sure. If there was foul play, it certainly was not a white mob that did it or police.
I miss you like a hog miss flop.
Because she went to a Juneteenth celebration, it is very likely that she spent her weekend around black people. So if there was foul play involved, then it likely came from somebody who was black, and it was not some racist white lynching, right, against a black woman.
Like a baby. Miss Mammy Titty.
Now, I want you to understand, this transgender dwarf doesn't care about the black woman who lost her life. Doesn't care at all. all he sees is as a story to try and lambast and criticize black people. That's all he sees this as. Why? Because he has a low IQ, racist audience.
But Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes.
As I said before, what he's even reporting on, what many people are reporting on, it's not true. It's inaccurate of the Michigan to Florida. Because I found that a bit weird. It's like that doesn't make any sense, which would lead someone to suspect foul play. Taking that out of the picture, now we see that she was arrested not too long ago, I think in April of this year. So she currently resides in Florida. Because what you have to understand, the case is closed.
The case has been closed, but the sheriff says that she is willing to open it if they get more information.
The officers already said.
How they close the case this fast? How they just close the case this fast? That don't make no sense.
That the case is closed, they've deemed it a suicide. So until someone else comes out with information, it's donezo. It's a wrap. That's what is going on. Now understanding that the case is closed, anyone with credible information is going to have to come forward to reopen the case.
We remain committed to reviewing any credible information brought to our attention.
When it comes to the hanging, the officer hasn't said anything about hanging. They just said, hey, they found, a deceased individual, yada, yada, yada. It wasn't until the sister, right, who, ironic enough, the only person race baiting on this is this transgender dwarf, because everyone else is asking questions. Now, I want you to understand it's illegal for black people to ask questions when it comes to the Sambo soldier, because once black people start asking questions, well, answers have to be given. And you know that the ignorants don't like giving answers. So black people are asking, hey, this doesn't sound right. Who was with her? What happened? Where are the cameras, right? Will you tell me that there's no camera recording of this? Officer said, hey, any camera recording that was given in the investigation.
I know the facility does have cameras, but whether that's a part of the investigation itself, the homicide detectives would be better to answer that question. And that would be in their finalized report as well.
Come on, man. There's supposed to be cameras there. Now y'all don't even know. Like, this is disgusting. Wait, Fahima, you said this is the same guy who said we was better off under white supremacy? No wonder he got 1 million subscribers, because he's really stupid. He has nothing insightful. He can barely talk, but he has 1 million subscribers. I see why now. He said we was better under white supremacy. I see it now. Let's see. You sound weird. You can't compare a lynching to somebody getting beat up and robbed. People get beat up and robbed every day by people in their race and outside their race. A lynching is something specific to America. Like, come on now. You got to be smarter than that.
You mean as far as if our detectives retrieve the video? If there was video to be retrieved and our detectives retrieved the video, it would be in their investigation. It would be in their report. It would be in their investigation. It would be in their report.
So you're telling me that all the videos, all right, all the surveillance that's going on, in Florida, nothing caught this. Nothing. We haven't caught her going to the park. Nothing. Okay, right. Now, that's obviously a bit suspicious. The sister has gone out of her way to actually try and say that this isn't a race issue. I want you to understand this. The sister in the conference says this isn't a race issue, that her auntie or whatever is a white woman.
You know what? I'm not saying everybody wants this to be.
Black people too thirsty to say stuff is not a race issue. And then when it turns out to be a race issue, then everybody want to cry racism. And matter of fact, when things don't go your way, then you want to cry your eyes out, and then want to cry racism. And now you just look like a sore loser. No black person should ever see a situation where a black person was found hanging and just go out their way to preemptively say race didn't have nothing to do with it. You don't even know what happened. So how do you know whether it's a racial thing or not? You don't even know what happened. You don't know who did it. It could be some secret footage that come out that it was 3 Klansmen who did that to your sister. You don't know. How you just automatically saying this ain't got nothing to do with race? Your sister found lynch in Florida, a park in Florida, by herself, hanging from a tree. And then that's what you say? Like, come on now. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Let me see. Timeless. No, I didn't put the link for nobody to join the live stream. I didn't do that. Shout out to Red Pill Zulu in the building for coming through with the 20. Exactly. This is what the guy who called into Tariq's show the other day, not the other day, like some weeks ago, and asked him about. No need to apologize. You good. You good. Yeah, that's what they called them about. Shout out to you again, Red Pill Zulu, for the 20. But yeah, that's what they called in. I mean, I said called in. That yeah, that's what they've been doing. But I don't like this right here, what I'm seeing with the sister. Automatically saying this ain't got nothing to do with race. You don't know who did what. Who did what? It'd be one thing if it turned out that a white person did it, and then you want to say, well, I don't think this was racial. He just a serial killer, or he just crazy, or this was personal. But to just say that off rip, you don't know who killed her, why they killed her, nothing. To just say it don't got nothing to do with race, black people got to stop doing this. This is what I'm talking about. Black people, so that's why we in the situation we in right now. We going back, we in Jim Crow, and they trying to bring us back to the antebellum South. That's why we in this situation, because everybody's so thirsty to try to make everything not about race. Exactly, Fahima. Any black person being found hung from a tree is supposed to be looked at as a lynching until proven otherwise. Too thirsty. You don't get nowhere with this. Oh, it ain't about race. I don't want nobody to look at this as possibly about race. You don't get nowhere with that. Nowhere. Like, come on.
A race thing, right? Oh, it was a lynching. Some white people hung that black girl. Beautiful black girl, but they...
Wait, hold on. Now my thing is messing up.
Oh, it was a lynching. Some white people hung that black girl. Beautiful black girl, but they hung her. I'm saying that's a human thing. Do y'all know suicide is done in public mainly 100% of the time? You know what's commonly not done in public? Lynching. That's why y'all want it to be a race thing.
Oh my God. I'm about to get off this because my computer is acting up. It was acting up earlier. Lee, they got me big mad because what she's saying don't even make sense. What she's saying don't even make sense. So now you saying your sister probably did a suicide? So if you saying she did the suicide and that people commit suicide in public all the time, but people don't really do lynchings like that in public. So what is this? So what is this for? Why are y'all here? The police already said case closed as a suicide. So what is the point of all this hoopla? If you sitting here saying it ain't got nothing to do with race, other people wanted to be a lynching because they wanted to be about race. Like, come on now. Fatal, you hit the... I was just about to say that. The way the sister is moving and acting, she probably didn't even call for this. The family did, and she just came here to speak, so the family let her speak, and she interjected all this confusion because she probably got a white boyfriend. She probably hang out with white people. It's the same thing with the Dylan Roof. When Dylan Roof killed all those black people, who was the one running interference trying to make it seem like it wasn't really about race? His black friend. Can't make this up, bro.
Because y'all know it should automatically go to somebody
Dad, this thing is
that wasn't black. Preferably a white person, because y'all got all the goddamn power. But I'm not trying to do that. Do you know the woman my sister stayed in contact was? My auntie Kathy Whitaker. A full-blown, down to the blood white lady.
What does that mean? Just because she wasn't racist against white people and she had a white auntie doesn't mean that white people wouldn't kill her or hurt her. Like, what are we saying here? What are we saying here? Oh my God! Oh my God! Like, what are we saying here? Like, what are we saying here? This gotta stop, man. This gotta stop.
So she's going out of her way to try and not make it a race issue, okay? The NAACP leader who spoke tries to say that, hey, we don't know. We need the facts and the evidence. That's what we want. We're not trying to vilify anyone.
We're not saying that this was a racially motivated crime. We're not saying any of that because we don't have all of the facts.
Now, does this?
So everybody's just sitting around. See, this is why I don't talk like this, because you don't get nothing by talking like this. The people you talking like this to try to appeal to are going to cause you a racist regardless. By you even asking the question about what happened to her and was it really a suicide? You're not claiming that it was that it wasn't a suicide. You're not saying that that even if it was a homicide, it was racially motivated. You're just asking for them to do a more thorough investigation. And what are people accusing you of? Race baiting. Even though you are going out of your way to try to say it's not about race. That's why this type of talk don't make no sense. I'm not jacking it because it don't get you nowhere. It don't get you nowhere. When it's all said and done, it don't get you nowhere. Shout out to everybody in the building.
This Sambo soldier, does this transgender dwarf mention any of this? No, of course not. What he does is try to vilify black people and try to make our suspicion of what occurred completely outlandish. Why? Because he has to pacify his white ignorant audience. Now, I want you to look at the hypocrisy, right? Because when black people are asking, when it comes to Trey Reed, when it comes to Javon McGee, when it comes to these in situations where there's a hanging, right? A black person hanging themselves, that seem to be ludicrous, he doesn't dispute any of that, right? He's just saying, well, that's what the police say, so that's what it is.
The mob is coming out here and claiming that there's foul play involved, that there's no way that black people hang themselves from trees.
Again, the family has come out and said this ain't got nothing to do with race and it's possibly a lynching. And the NAACP leader for the area said this could possibly be suicide. We just want the police to do a more thorough job and look into it. And what is this bozo doing? Attacking them. Even though they done went out of their way to make this thing not about race, they still attacking them. It's the same thing that happened to Carmelo Anthony family. They went out of their way to make this case not about race. They even hired a white lawyer to make it not about race. And guess what? They still got attacked and still got accused of making it about race. And when it was all said and done, it was obvious to a duck that it was about race. And you got that monster, Jeff Metcalf, calling Carmelo Anthony a watermelon felon. And you got that bozo, Charleston White, selling shirts of it.
And therefore, again, this must be a lynching, a racist lynching by a white mob or police or whatever, right? I've seen all types of conspiracy theories, except the theory that actually aligns with the facts and reality, which is that she offed herself.
Now, I want you to understand, when it comes to Ahmaud Arbery, y'all remember Ahmaud Arbery, another case that would have been swept under the rug, right? Would have been swept under the rug had it not been for the GBI. This situation, when it's been proven in court that it was racially motivated, do you want to know what this Sambo soldier says?
I do not believe that this was necessarily racially motivated, right? The idea that these people chased down Ahmaud Arbery just because he was black. Okay, I don't believe that, right? That they were out there trying to hunt a black man down just because he was black and jogging.
So
yes, that's another reason why I don't do the this not about race talk, because that you trying to do that talk, you're trying to appeal to people like that's in the audience of Black conservative perspective, who not gonna believe you even when it's proven to be about race. They still gonna say, well, it wasn't really about race. I don't believe it. Regardless, they're gonna hate you regardless. They're gonna talk against you regardless. Makes no sense. You might as well say what it is and stand on that. You don't get no points by pretending it's not what it is. The civil rights movement didn't get the victories it got by pretending that America wasn't a racist country that was discriminating against Black people.
I want you to understand that the actual race baiter is this marsupial. That's who's the actual race baiter. He is race baiting his white audience to try and vilify Black people. That's what he's doing. Because we see, even when it's proven in court, when it comes to a white person, well, I don't believe that, you know, it was racially motivated. Proven in court. He has no problem vilifying Black people, and that is the problem with the Sambo soldier. They're not conservative, right? They're not conservative. They are propagandists. And they are propagandists that are leading the country into, you know, disarray. That's all they are for. When it comes to this story, I would think that people, anyone connection with this woman, with this girl, what happened, would come forward. Anyone with credible evidence should come forward, because it seems that misinformation is poisoning the story. And you have race baiters like this conservative perspective and others who are trying to make it something that it's not. So you have people on both ends of the spectrum. People are trying to hyperbolize the story and people are trying to downplay the story. I think both are wrong. I think what we want is the truth. That's what we want. We want to find out what happened to this woman. That at the end of the day, the sister wants to find out what happened to her. There's this concept that a lot of these Sambo soldiers try to portray is that, if it's a Black person and it's another Black person who did the crime, nobody cares. Black people don't care.
Now, the facts and evidence comes out later on to suggest that, Black people did this to this woman. These people are not going to care anymore.
Is your idiot brain getting fucked by stupid?
And I'm trying to understand where they get this from. Right? There's nothing in history that suggests as such. Nothing, literally nothing. There's been tons of protests, tons of conferences of Black people saying, hey, this has got to stop. This crime, this gang, all this has got to stop. When it comes to even the crime bill, Black people supported the crime bill. Do you understand? The Clinton crime bill that we talk about, Black people overwhelmingly, African Americans supported the crime bill. Now, when it came to the execution of the crime bill, that's where many people had a problem with. But this concept that Black people just love crime and we don't care, this is foolishness. This is anti-Black racism, okay? This is a lie out of Satan's mouth, bro, out of the pits of hell. And you have these Sambo soldiers who utilize their skin color to promote and be a mouthpiece for this lineage of evil, because they themselves are part of the lineage of evil. They're nothing more than modern day house Negroes doing a minstrel show and being rewarded for it.
And I am very, very, very honored to be on Jimmy Dore's show with you guys today.
So I'm sick and tired of this, bro. These people have got to be put an end to. And what I mean by that is that,
oh my God, I'm proud. Jimmy Dore is not even there, and you just to be in the bozo and a weirdo. Like, I can't believe this. Like this is insane. This hurt my chest. I got to get off this after this is over. I got to get off the stream after this is over.
they got to go to Mars, bro. They got to go to Mars. It's as simple as that. They got to go anywhere else. Go leave the country, because you are making this country a worse place for everyone. Anyways, guys, that's the video.
Yes, I had to get off this. Shout out to everybody in the building who came through. Family, make sure you subscribe to my second channel before you go. Make sure you subscribe to the second channel. Also, remember, the best way to support this channel is PayPal, Cash App, Venmo. I take it all. A whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns. Family, also a way to support the channel is to like the stream, share, comments, hit that reaction heart. All that counts as support. Another way to support the stream is the super thanks, super sticker, super chat. That's support. The gifts, support. Joining the channel, that's support. And all support is appreciated. But now you got to come to the end and we got to shout everybody out. For some reason, this thing, when I resetted my thing, I don't have a copy of who gave me gifts. So if I don't see your name, I'm sorry, but I'll try to go look it up and I'll try to shout you out tomorrow or later. First, we're going to shout out Lee. Shout out Lee for hitting me on the Cash App. Remember, family, if you hit me on the Cash App, you'll let me know if you want to shout out or not. And I'll give it to you. Shout out to That's Amazing for coming through with the 5, who's also a member of the channel. Shout out to the Boogeyman for coming through with the $4.99. Shout out to That's Amazing for coming through with another 5. Shout out to 24 for gifting 5 memberships. Family, if 24 gifted you a membership, make sure you thank him and make sure you keep it going. Make sure you keep it going. You can upgrade it, downgrade it, whatever, but keep it going. Shout out to That's Amazing for coming through with another 5. Shout out to Stanley for a 10. Shout out to Red Pill Zulu for a 20. I think it was That's Amazing or Brandon who sent me some gifts. And I think it was also, give me a minute. Give me a minute. I'm going to get this. I'm going to find this. I'm going to find this person. I got to shout them out. Remember, they supported me, so I got to make sure I give them a shout out.
Know what you guys think, whether or not you believe, hey, there's something fishy with the story. I don't know what it is, but there's something definitely went down that we should get to the bottom of. Or if you believe, oh yeah, it's just about race with you, huh? So everything's about race, yada, 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 you know, black people hate themselves all the time. And, you know, I'm so sick and tired of these Sambo soldiers, bro. I really am, genuinely am. Because this is obviously, there's something going on in this story, something suspicious. And for us to simply ask questions is a problem. For us,
I found it. I looked up. I found it. It's that's where I had a comment saved. Ephraim. I think it's Ephraim or Ephraim. I don't know how to pronounce the name. It's Ephraim or Ephraim. I don't know if you're still in the building, but if you're still in the building, thank you again for the jewels that you sent. Much appreciated. Dang, I gotta find out who else sent them jewels. I'm gonna have to go back in the stream and look, because again, I'm gonna have to go back and look up. That's amazing. That's who it was. Shout out to you. That's amazing. You sent the jewels. I found you. I found you. It was you and Ephraim who sent the jewels today. Thank you again. Much appreciated. Oh, Jackie in the building. Thank you for the fire emojis. Again, all kind of support. I love it. Even commenting is support. Well, I'm gonna end this here. You're right, Lee. I gotta go. I gotta definitely go lay down after this one. It's crazy. But yeah, I'm getting off this. Good night, everybody. You can email me. Much appreciated. Shout out to all y'all. Also, remember, like I said, make sure y'all go subscribe to my second channel. And on that note, family, peace.